What a weekend of Cork GAA Championship action live on the Irish Examiner live streaming service. And we rounded out this weekend with a Sunday night's football fixture in the Bon Secours Cork Premier Senior Football Championship, as we have live coverage of the second semi-final between St Finbarrs and Castlehaven. Who will join Nemo Rangers in next Sunday's county final? All will be revealed from 7 o'clock. Very good evening, very warm welcome to the commentary box. Patrick McKay bringing you through the live coverage of this second semi-final between the Haven and the Bars. A big game in store. Joining us in the commentary position will be Derek Kavanagh, I should say, and former Cork manager Brian Corporate is in with us as well. Big game, big live coverage coming up from 7 o'clock. Throw-in is at 7 o'clock. But for the moment, let's hear from both camps. Earlier this week, I caught up with St Finbarrs manager Paul O'Keefe. But for the moment, let's hear firstly from the Castlehaven manager, James McCarthy. So James, it's 4 weeks now since we've seen Castlehaven in action. How are things going down below in West Cork, and how is training going?
Training is going good, and we're looking forward to Sunday night. I suppose, it was supposed to be on a week ago, but that was out of our control, or anybody's control, to be fair. So yeah, we a month might be a bit long to be waiting, but look, we're delighted to be in the county semi-final.
Your performance so far, James, I suppose the Carby Rangers game being a local derby was always going to be a bit tense. Newcestown, the fit club, the Jew club that they had, that you beat them by 6 points. But then I suppose you really showed your true colours with that big victory over Island Rovers in the third round.
Yeah, I suppose the three games are different in every way. I suppose the first game against Ross, we were very nervy. We haven't beaten Ross in a good few times, in 10 years, I think. It's going back to 2013, I think. So, we could see the nerves that day, but we have grown since, and the players have got better against Newcestown. Newcestown are a brilliant club, what they do was unreal. We won by 6, but it could have been closer. So I suppose going into the Island Rovers game, it was... If we lost the game, we're still going through. So we just, after 20 minutes, we see that we had a chance of maybe going up another level in the competition. So we just threw off the shackles and had a go at it. And, that gave the players great confidence, because they knew they had nothing to lose and everything to gain. So, they were able to express themselves, which is kind of unnatural. There was no pressure really on them. But to be fair, they went about their business very well.
It sounds like during that third round game against Island Rovers, was that a change in game plan, that maybe you were only just going in to qualify, but when you saw that Nemo weren't really, the Douglas Nemo game was so close, and that the Bars weren't really getting over their opponents in the third round, was it then, say after a quarter or 20 minutes, you're saying to yourselves, we should actually try and go for that semi-final spot?
Yeah, it was at half-time. It was, again, unusual. The conversation we were having at half-time, guys, we have, to be fair to and respect to Island Rovers, we've this game won, guys. Let's have a cut off this and see where to take us. And you would never have that. I've never been in that situation before, and might never be again. And to be fair again to the guys, they went about their work very well. And we left ourselves open at the back a bit. We conceded a few goals that hopefully we wouldn't concede another day. But it was checking the phone and to see what the scores were, and we were up, we were down. So it was a different. We weren't playing Island Rovers at that stage. We were playing the scores at the other side. So it was no disrespect to Island Rovers. The big score we were trying to put up, which was they weren't our opposition at that stage. Yeah,
and your opposition, of course, were the Bars and Nemo and the other two groups. I suppose the dual club thing hasn't really affected you, but I suppose one thing I'm going to ask you about is the inter-county players that have been with you over the last couple of weeks. It's been a big, big difference to instead of Cork playing inter-county football, say in June, July and August, that you've actually got your club players in June, July and August, and the inter-county comes after. How much of a difference is it to you with so many inter-county stars in your panel?
Sure, look, it's like chalk and cheese, to be fair, and it's great to have them around, and I think they're enjoying it as well. And you're hearing the same story from clubs all around the country. If anything good comes out of this COVID, it would be the structure in the championship, maybe. And to be fair to the Cork County Board, they had this online, they had this Champions League set up on the pipeline. So it has been brilliant. But coming back to the county players, they've been fantastic to us. And, they always give their best to Castlehaven. But it's, hopefully we're getting the best out of them this year now, seeing that the counties afterwards, they were usually coming back. And, after a long National League and Championship, it's very hard to get going in their club. And that's no fault to the county or the club or the players or anyone. It's just the structure.
Now, obviously, you've had a 4-week gap since that third round championship game against Island Rovers. The Bars had a game just last Wednesday night against Newcestown. Obviously, it's going to be a comparison differences between the two sides. But what do you watch out for from this Bars team tonight?
Well, I see them playing against Newcestown now, and like that's them. Like they're brilliant. Like they're big, strong, very physical, big, strong men. Maguire midfield. Their full forward line is very sharp. Get most of their scores, and they've been county champions just a couple of years ago, and they're in the top 4 every year. So we're just back breaking into that top 4. So we know after 20 minutes where we are. Are we ready for this really cutthroat championship game knockout, which we haven't experienced yet this year? The Bars have one up on us there, so it'll be nip and tuck. I think. A great respect for the Bars and what they do again, dual club again, but and great inter-county players. So we'll be up against it. We know that, but with respect, we're going there to win the game as well.
Obviously, it's a big day as well on Sunday because you won the championship back in 2013 and 14, but you have been in the final since that epic replay game against Nemo Rangers in 2016. To be just nice to get back into that final again.
Yeah, it was 15 we were beaten by Nemo, yeah. Look, maybe it is something that we thought we left behind us, maybe, but we can't change that result now. But, the boys have been in the semi-final there. They had 3 great games against Duhallow in the semi-final a couple of years ago. So they know all what it is about winning semi-finals and losing them. So it's brilliant to be in the semi-final, but we want to win it and go another step. And with the environment we're in now, it's great for the parish. I know we don't have the supporters there, but it's great for the locality that, there's something to look forward to at the weekend and support. And again, as I say, the GA during the COVID have been outstanding, and, they're keeping the people looking forward to something at the weekend in every parish.
Paul, so it's a quick turnaround for you. 4 days since you beat Newcestown. How are the bodies holding up?
Good. Look. The good thing is we came through Newcestown Wednesday night without any injuries. So look, that's a major plus compared to where we were this time last year. Where everyone, bar myself, I'd say, was injured. So look, it's great. It's just great to have come through. That was a real battle for us, and we knew that's kind of what we were going to get from Newcestown anyway. But it's great to get through without a body count, so it's good.
You've had a busy season. I know the hurlers were defeated in the group stages. They were knocked out after the third round of games. But for the footballers, it's been quite a decent season, going unbeaten so far.
Yeah, look, it's been brilliant. Look, we got through the group stages, and it was a tough group as well. I suppose the Ballincollig game kind of set the tone for us in terms of we knew we'd targeted that as being the vital game. Really, you lose your first game in the group stages, and you're on the back foot from the word go. So we just managed to. We got through Ballincollig, and then Carrigaline was comfortable enough, and had a good old battle with Clan there as well, and then Newcestown the other night, of course, was a bit of a dogfight, so look, that's been great, but look, that's exactly what you want, look, I suppose that's what we targeted and that's what we got, but the weekend ahead poses kind of a different challenge for us, I suppose.
I was going through match notes there this morning, and Newcestown got a goal in the 25th minute to go 1-3 to 3 points up. What was going through your mind going to that stage? There was 5 minutes left in the opening half. What was going through the mind before you got those 4 points to go into that 1 point lead?
I just thought we were kind of struggling a bit. I thought our decision making wasn't great. I thought overall we were doing okay. I think that the general consensus from everybody, we kind of came away from the game kind of going, God, we didn't really play that well. But then kind of when you looked at the video afterwards, there was a lot of positives to take out of it, I think our defence was excellent, when you look at the final scoreline, we defended really well, maybe some of our option taking wasn't razor sharp, but you know, look, that's probably just a bit of ring rustiness, like, and hopefully that won't be the case next weekend. But yeah, look, after the goal, I was kind of, you know, look, I was kind of hoping, my thoughts before the game were that new system might be a bit leggy after the hurling 3 days before it, like, and to be fair to them, they weren't. So I was kind of hoping to get a good start, you know, but then they got the goal and drew level. But like, to be fair, that kind of woke us up, and I think we kicked four points in a row after that, you know, which kind of, but like, you know, it has been a few times this year where we've had those kind of wake-up calls and kind of responded and got into the game, you know, but look, hopefully you won't be doing that against leaving Castlehaven, get the goal to wake you up, you know, because that could be the end of the road for you. So, but yeah, like, so, you know, I thought we were in trouble after the goal, but I suppose the response was good after it, like, so it was kind of pros and cons to it.
Yeah, and I suppose at half-time then going to that 1 point lead after conceding that goal, I suppose it was quite pleasantly surprising, I suppose, to get the 4 points in a row for a start, because Newstone had their own couple of chances going into the half-time, but obviously the talk at half-time then was just keep the game plan going as it was. Yeah,
pretty much, like, I suppose, look, yeah, like, it was kind of that last kind of couple of minutes you kind of felt, look, that we kind of found our groove, you know, but then, you know, Newcestown went out to start the second half and scored the first point, which kind of set the tone for them as well, you know. So look, I think by half time, in my own head anyway, I was kind of decided, look, that this is going to go to the wire, you know. I couldn't see us kind of pulling away from Newcestown, that they, you know, they had kind of dug in and they defended quite well. They made it difficult for us, you know. And it was always going to be just that kind of dogfight, like, and it was only into the last quarter when we kind of, and maybe that was something to do with Newcestown playing 3 days earlier in the hurling as well. Look, that we kind of just, you know, maybe just pulled ahead of them that little bit into the home straight, you know. So look, we finished well, and look, that's kind of all, you know, the real issue, like, on Wednesday night, was just getting through it and getting over it, you know. And that was kind of, whatever way you did it was mission accomplished, whether you did it, you know, swashbuckling style, or whether you just crawled over the line, you take it, and, you know, so I suppose, look, we'll be saying the same next Sunday, you know. So win is a win in the end of the day.
That's all water under the bridge now, because you've got the Haven on Sunday evening, and it's a big game, I suppose, but comparison to yourselves that you're playing 4 days later, they've had to wait 4 weeks, so quite a big difference for both sides. Yeah,
look, it's kind of a funny one. Look, you know, I don't think either team would like the situation they're in particularly, you know. Look, I know the Haven, that 4 week layoff, like, is probably playing on their minds, you know. And look, with the best will in the world, no matter how well you're training, look, you're going to be rusty when it comes to championship tempo. And look, if you've been out for 4 weeks, you know, look, to be honest, I'm glad we got that game. You know, that we had the Newcestown game before Castlehaven, you know, because look, I think if we were that rusty going out against the Haven on the weekend, you wouldn't last long against them, you know. So look, I think we've been kind of fine-tuned a little bit, you know, albeit the 4 day turnaround is a little bit hard to take, like, you know. Look, we did approach the board about maybe moving it back to the following Wednesday, but look, that's kind of water under the bridges. But I suppose, like, you know, look, we take the fixture now and just get on with it.
Who are the players to watch out from your own point of view against the Haven?
Look, they have the marquee forwards, you know, the two hurleys, you know, maybe Jack Cahalane coming into the mix as well. You know, they have Mark Collins midfield, Damien at centre back, you know. So look, they have plenty of kind of household names that would worry you, like. And look, to be fair, the hurleys have been in absolutely scintillating form this year, like, you know, their performances, you know, like, if you could have an attendance at a match, they're worth the entrance fee, like, you know. So you know, so look, hopefully we'll be able to manage them on Sunday, like, but yeah, look, their form has been fantastic.
I suppose if one man can hold them, it is yourself. I suppose, looking back down memory lane, the 2011 county final, when you led UCC to beat the Haven in that famous final, it was a historic day, to be a great occasion to do it again on Sunday night.
Oh, look, to be fantastic. Look, and look, sure, look, there's a massive prize there in the end of the day, you know. And look, 2011 was a great day out, but I'm sure that's fresh in James McCarthy's mind as well, like, in terms of getting a bit of vengeance back at me. So he probably owes me one for that anyway, like.
Thanks very much to both camps who I spoke to during the week. It's a big, busy weekend so far, and we've got one more to go in front of us. It's the Bars against the Haven, and it's coming to you live from 7. Derek Kavanagh and Brian Corp are sitting in beside me here this evening. Boys, thanks very much for joining us. And Derek, we'll start with yourself. There was a few sweats there after around 3:30 this afternoon, but Nemo Rangers just about in the county final.
Big time. Got out of jail in a big way. Duhallow were looking good for us halfway through the second half. They definitely had one foot in the final. To say that Donncha O'Connor going off was a turning point is stating the obvious, pretty much. They were being to control the tempo. It was suiting Donncha's graft in terms of he slowed down the game. They were on top. Nemo were struggling. Suddenly things opened up for Nemo, despite them having a few gilt-edged chances. They had a brilliant point in the end by Mark Collins, so just got through the skin of their teeth.
Brian, I know conditions were tough, and again they're tough this evening, but it was an entertaining game though to watch.
Yeah, I think so, Patrick. I think, to be fair, all the championships so far, we were just saying it before we came on air, has been extremely entertaining, the condensed nature of it especially. But I think, Nemo do what Nemo do, and Derek might smile at this, but when the game is close, 9 times out of 10, they find ways of winning matches. And to be fairness to them again, you gave away a goal, it'll be a time to panic with time up. Quick kick out by Mihaly, got on the ball, I think Alan O'Donovan moved it forward. And young Cronin finished it off as he does. You could see he was trying to get onto his left. I thought the defender would actually, not end up on the ground, which he did. But it was a great score to win a game.
Sure was indeed, and hopefully we've got just as an entertaining, if not better, of what has been a quite an enthralling weekend on the Irish Examiner live streaming service. Let's turn our attentions as both teams get ready this evening, and let's start with the Castlehaven team, who will line out as you will see on the graphic. Anthony Seymour will be in goal, Johnny Regan, Ronan Walsh and Rory Maguire the full back line, Kieran O'Sullivan, Damien Cahalan and David McCarthy the half back line, Jamie Walsh and Mark Collins the middle of the field, Roland Whelton, Brian Hurley and Conor Cahalan the full half forward line, I should say, and Conor Driscoll, Cathal Maguire and Michael Hurley in the full forward line. Brian, they've been quite decent, but I suppose the eye-catching line of form here is that 4-19 to 2-4 win over Island Rovers in the third round.
Yeah, I think, to be fair to Island Rovers, because they actually played Bishtown in the relegation game and I saw them, I think that was almost a wake-up call for them after that game, because they certainly weren't as bad in the Bishopstown game as they were in the Castlehaven game. But to be fair to Castlehaven, they have deadly forwards, Patrick, and if they get enough possession, the likes of Michael, the likes of Brian Hurley, they will do wreck. And I think they're ably assisted by Conor Cahalan. Ronan Welter will work very, very hard in the wing. So if they have enough possession, and that's the key thing for Castlehaven tonight, if they have enough possession, I think they have the forwards that will trouble the Bars' defence.
Let's turn our attentions then to the Bars, who will be wearing their chain strip of yellow and blue this evening. Patrick O'Neill will start in goal. Sam Ryan, Jamie Burns and Alan O'Connor the full back line. Colin Lyons and Ola Murphy will be joined by Cullum Scully at the left half back position. Ian Maguire captains the side, and he'll be joined by number 18 Michael Shields, who started against Newcestown on Wednesday evening. Dennis O'Brien, Brian Hayes, and a change at left half forward, number 22 Cian Walsh comes in at left half forward for Adam Lyon. And in the full forward line, Killian Myers-Murray, Owen McGreevy and Stephen Sherlock. The Newcestown game during the week, Derek, was a close encounter. They got out of it, but you'd be expecting more tonight out of Bars.
I would, and you could say that it's maybe, some people would argue it's a disadvantage having a game midweek and coming into a semi-final. I think they'll be tried and tested. Looking on the other side, Castlehaven could be stale, because it's been a long time since they got a good competitive game. Bars are well tested at this stage, so I think it'll suit them. I think they definitely have a lot to improve on from that game against Newcestown, because Castlehaven, you're up in the levels at least at 10-20% in terms of the balance of their team. So Bars, I think, are coming into this okay. I think Castlehaven are hot favourites going by the bookies, but Bars, I think Castlehaven will find it really, really hard to beat the Bars tonight.
And I suppose we mentioned about the game Wednesday night. It'll do a lot for the Bars, a lot of confidence going forward. Okay, their performance wasn't impressive on Wednesday night, but going forward, that game inside 4 days compared to the Havens game in 4 weeks is a massive difference. Yeah,
so Castlehaven are training and they're trying to generate that type of buzz, they're trying to generate that type of intensity, and you never can in training, and you get it in championship games, regardless of whether you limp out of it with a point victory against the team you're supposed to hammer. That doesn't really matter. You're in the next game, and you're all the better for it, because you just can't get that intensity in training.
Sure can't indeed. It's been a busy weekend in the Irish Examiner live stream. We brought you live coverage of the Premier Intermediate Hurling Championship final last night between Blarney and Castlehaven. A victory for the Blarney team. And then earlier this afternoon, 2 cracking games in the Scenery Hurling Championship. We had Charleville defeating Fort O'Neill's by a point. And down here, then we had in Parkerine the first semi-final between Nemo Rangers and Duhallow, a cracking semi-final. We should be expecting another one, and it's going to be another couple of busy weekends over the next couple of weeks as we look out. This evening, John Ryan is with the 2 captains, Ian Maguire, who will be calling the toss. And the toss is going to be key this evening because that wind, as you look at it, is going from left to right. And it is the Haven who have won the toss, and they will play, amazingly enough, against the wind in this opening half. Now, I was always taught, lads, if there's a wind, you try and use it to your advantage in the first half. But the Haven are going against it.
I think Patrick's, schools differ. I think in Cork, Cork hurlers notoriously always played against the wind long go. And it's kind of a long-held belief with Cork teams that you play against the wind. I think in Nemo it was always the other way around, Derek, that you go to advantage every chance you get and then put the team to the sword. And I suppose for us, one of the thinking things around elements like this and the strength of the wind is go against the wind in the first half, batten down the hatches, really make a battle of it, and then the second half, the game can open up and you have the benefit of the wind, Patrick. So, if you win, it was a great decision. If you lose, not so much. But if I was Castlehaven, I probably would do the same.
Yeah, I think from looking at Castlehaven play, I looked at a few of their games to check them out ahead of tonight. Their kickouts tend to be short, so I think they kind of are comfortable playing into that wind into their face. So I don't think it'll damage them any bit.
There's going to be a minute's silence for a couple of people who have died over the past couple of days. And one of those is Kevin O'Driscoll of Bishopstown, another club member from Castlehaven. Ariashte Garefshiad. And as the wind starts to bellow and the rain starts to fall here in Parkerine, we remain upstanding for the national anthem of our own Aveen. Send our congratulations to Blackrock, Charleville and Blarney, who have completed winning their championships earlier this weekend. Well, we've got Nemo Rangers in the Premier Senior Football Championship final. Who is going to join them, gents?
I think this is going to be very, very close. I think the fact that the Bars have played on Wednesday night is going to be a huge advantage to them. And I think the Bars will just about get over the line. I think the fact that Castlehaven have played against the win, Patrick, in the first half actually gives an indication of maybe what type of game plan they're going to have. I think they're going to be really focused on stopping Ian Maguire running. I know I say this all the time, but I think they'll get bodies behind the ball. They'll make sure that Ian doesn't get into the game with his running game. I think if you can stop that, you'll stymie the Bars a bit. But I just think the Bars, after Wednesday night, I think they'll be battle hardened and I think they could get over the line.
Coming into tonight, Patrick, I was thinking Castlehaven, just based on their firepower. I just think there's more to them in terms of their attack threat with Brian and Michael Hurley, not to mention Colin Maguire there as well. But something tells me the night it's going to be a scrappy night. Just looking at the Bars, they just look such a physical team. Wet, windy night. I think it might just suit them.
Well, it's John Ryan who is our Raytor this evening from Macroom. Michael Shields has gone straight into the centre of the field, and he's ended up throwing a man on the floor. John Ryan actually pointed the wrong way first. He was pointing for a Castlehaven free because Jamie Walsh was fouled into the centre of the park. So it's the first possession of the game, and here is Brian Hurley playing centre forward this evening. Quick ball inside to his brother Michael, but he just scuffled inside, but a poor pass out from Patrick O'Neill out towards Michael Hurley. And there was a foul inside there. It's going to be a free out for the Bars. Early stages in this Cork Premier Senior Football Championship semi-final. And in fact, it's actually going to be it is going to be a free. Some confusion there from our referee. So Sam Ryan pass it back to Patrick O'Neill for the first time this evening. Patrick O'Neill with time just to allow time for the Bars defence to set up. Colin Lyons recycle out to Ian Maguire, who will be looking to don the Cork jersey in a fortnight's time when they go to the National Football League game against Louth down in Park Queeve. The Bars now reverting backwards through Jamie Burns, and Colin Lyons in possession now, walking into the centre of the park, switching the play over towards Owen McGree, the accomplished soccer player in Cork Institute of Technology. Switching the play over towards that far side, McGreevy off his worst right leg, and a great mark claimed inside there by Killian Myers-Murray, who has already got 115 to his name already in this Premier Senior Football Championship. And a chance for Myers. Must take this mark within 15 seconds of it being awarded. Will do so. And a chance for the opening score of the game goes the way of the Bars, and it is converted to their corner forward, Killian Myers-Murray.
Great score there. I think even coming out, Bars look very comfortable. Sam Ryan, Colin Lyons coming up with the ball, seem very at ease. Great ball into Killian Myers-Murray, and certainly not a tap over, and great score by him.
Here's the kick out from Anthony Seymour down the centre of the park. Michael Shields was the man in there, but winning the breaking ball though was Cian Walsh. Walsh recycled the ball outside to Colm Scully. Bars now just looking to try and punch another hole in this Castlehaven defence, using the aid of the wind in this opening 30 minutes. Here's Brian Hayes going through the centre of the park. Hayes from outside of the exclusion zone. Brian Cuthbert, super start from the Bars.
Great start for the Bars, and just like today at the Nemo game, if you pressurise the kick out and if you win those breaks, you dominate games. I think the Bars are really up for this one. I think they're really trying to put Anthony Seymour under pressure on his kick out, trying to rattle him, and I think win these kick outs and they'll have a good half here.
Here's the kick out from Anthony Seymour, again over towards that far side, and again it is Michael Shields winning the breaking ball. Dennis O'Brien getting on in possession, pass the outside to Colm Scully. Scully under pressure though. There's a great hand inside there though from Cathal Maguire, turning over possession, and here come the Haven on the attack. Outside to Kieran O'Sullivan, switching the play over towards that far side of the field now. Haven looking to try and muster an opportunity. The Cahalans, of course, part of this panel of the Haven. They hurl with the Bars. One of those is Conor Cahalan. Back outside to Michael Hurley. Conor Cahalan. The Haven taking their time, but Michael Hurley was played off the ball. And it's going to be a free in awarded by John Ryan over the far side of the field.
Yeah, well worked. In fairness, it's going to be a war of attrition for Castlehaven to get up against that wind, and they seem to be comfortable with that play, especially with the likes of Mark Collins there. A lot of ball is going to go through his hands in this half because he's just so reliable. As I say, there's going to be no long kicks in here from Castlehaven. It's going to be all hand passing all the way up, but no better team.
Quite a strong breeze facing Mark Collins this evening. We'll ask how much it's worth, but that score is a super score for Mark Collins. Brian Cuthbert, especially in a very strong breeze.
Yeah, great kick. Mark's a superb striker of the ball. It's actually going to be quite interesting. Mark Collins, he's the real instigator of all good play for Castlehaven. He's on Michael Shields there. Michael has been dominating in the air, but Mark certainly will cover ground here.
Quite an atmosphere here for what is only 200 spectators allowed, as that ball is turned over by Colin Lyons. And a chance now for the Haven to try and level up this game. Here's Cathal Maguire working his way inside, but it was a loose pass inside, and the Bars are going to deal with that all night long. Jamie Burns singing up to Ian Maguire, and now they're working it through the channels. Looking for Dennis O'Brien, who sends it long inside the 45-metre line. But again, there was a Haven hand inside there, and now it's Mark Collins, the captain, who's been closely marshalled by the Bars captain Maguire. Dennis O'Brien. In fact, sorry, it's Roland Welton, I should say. On towards Conor Cahalan, sending it long inside. So a chance inside here for Brian Hurley. He really is a strong unit, Brian Hurley. There was a foul going in there, the advantage didn't accrue. It's a free in for the Haven.
Yeah, Patrick, contrary to what I predicted before the game, I think Castlehaven are going man on man here. They're pushing right up, and you can see every time that the Bars have the ball here, it is. They are under pressure trying to get the ball out, but they're, both teams are very comfortable with the ball. But a couple of turnovers there. Castlehaven are pouncing on them, and certainly in the last 2 minutes, the Bars had a great start, but it's all been Castlehaven these last 2 minutes.
Just over 5.5 minutes gone in this opening half of this Bond Secures Premier Senior Football Championship final. The Haven captain Mark Collins sending this one in, and the Haven have squared up this game at 2 points apiece.
Yeah, it's a super game. I think, as I said last week here in the Nemo game, you just get the vibe in the knockout tournament. You definitely get it here. It sounds like there's a couple of thousand here with the noise that's going on behind us. It's certainly a very competitive, very physical game.
Just getting that outside the 13-metre radius was Patrick O'Neill over towards that far side. Jamie Burns walking up as the Haven look to try and start retreat and close out space. But there's plenty of space over here for Owen Murphy as he makes his way up towards the centre of the park of this right flank in front of us here in a very, very breezy and cold Parky Ring. Possession with Dennis O'Brien, working his way inside the 21-metre line. And he's overcarried the ball, and that was the pressure from the Haven, and it's a free out for the Bars.
Good pressure there, but in fairness, 20 metres out, he was coming onto his left. He had plenty of time. He may not be a natural left legger, but still, you've got to take those opportunities in the semi-final.
And the poor turnover ball is a chance of a goal inside here, and scored by Stephen Sherlock, scoring his third goal of the game, asking for the pressure on the Haven. And there's your reply, St. Finbarrs with the goal.
Yeah, it was a gift freely, to be honest, Patrick. I can't remember who took the free very, very quickly. It was just kicked directly, one pass, back of the net. The last man that Castlehaven wanted on that ball was Stephen Sherlock, and he finished with a plum, to be fair.
Yeah, what's interesting here is actually Castlehaven's kickouts. They do like to go close or short. There's, you can see the Bars, even their supporters are generating this sense of panic and making Castlehaven kick long, which is into the Bars' hands here in midfield. And here you go, they're cleaning up.
And exactly as you're saying, Derek played it inside towards Ian Kavanagh. Now a chance for Killian Myers-Murray. But that right. Goes to the right-hand side of wide. Brian just going back. Yeah. That was Ronan Walsh who gave away that free. It was
I think Derek is right. He panicked. He just gave the ball away. He didn't need to kick it. They're against a very strong wind. I think I think the Bars think that they can get at Anthony Seymour here. There's huge vocal, almost intimidation on his kick out, and they've won every single kick out so far.
I have never heard of such a raucous atmosphere where there's only 200 people here, but this is the intensity and the atmosphere this game is going to be played at. Here's another chance for Killian Myers-Murray. Off the outside of the post. It would have been Connolly.
I was actually hoping it was going over. It was just a beautiful strike. That wind was going to carry a beautiful strike, in fairness, and I'm just sad to see that go wide because it was hit so nice.
Even though they want to get scores, obviously, Derek and Patrick, I think they know they have this kick out. I think they have them under so much pressure. They've won every single kick out so far, so wides aren't as bad as normal either.
Mark Collins under pressure there from Ian Maguire. Collins nearly getting to it. Just ended up on the back of his arse, and a chance now for the Bars to set up again. McGreevy playing that ball into the corner. He's won the breaking ball, but just plays it outside towards Cian Walsh. And the Bars now looking to settle up once again. This is a strong win. It could be worth 5 points to the Bars if they do lead at half time. It is that strong. Killian Myers-Murray working that ball inside towards Colin Lyons. Lyons with his shots. And Lyons with the score, but the score won't count because there was a foul just before, and John Ryan is warding a free from 21 yards out.
Yeah, Patrick, I personally think it's just a kick out. I think the Bars are putting so much pressure on the Castlehaven kick out. Everything is coming from that. I think if Castlehaven are smart here, they'll surely have something done that they can guarantee themselves possession from the kick out, because they've shown once they have possession, they're actually very dangerous at the other end. But the Bars have targeted this kick out, and they are masters at the moment here.
But to be fair, Brian, is it because the Haven are playing so deep from their own kick out? They've got 14 men inside their own half the field.
But I think so, Patrick. But I think you know when you're under pressure and your kick out that you'd, at this stage of the year, that you'd have something worked out so that you'd win the ball handy.
As that free goes in from Stephen Sherlock inside the near upright, and inside 10 minutes, the Bars, Derek Cavan, lead by 4 points.
Yeah, and they're good value for it. You can just see that they're generating this sense of panic around the ground. Castlehaven have the men back because this is the game they're used to playing. Is looking for the short kick out. Now they're having to go long again.
As that kick out from Seymour sent over towards that far side, and a super mark over there claimed, and another chance for the Haven to go on the counter attack. Here's Brian Hurley. Brian Hurley working his way inside off the right peg. Hurley with a shot off the outside of the upright. That's been the story of the Havens night just so far. It's been so near. But now the Bars looking to try and work themselves through the channels. Ian Maguire passing it back to Colin Lyons. O'Connor, and again Lyons on the loop. Sending the ball over towards that far side. Cian Walsh playing in the right or the left wing. Wearing number 22. One of the two changes made by Paul O'Keefe's management team. But it was a super hit inside there by Roland Welton. Has turned over the ball and won a free for his team as well. And it's a free out for the Haven. It's going to be quickly taken though.
I think they need a score now because I know they're looking forward to the second half. Castlehaven playing with this win, but at the same time, if that lead stretches to 6, 7, 8, they could be in big trouble.
There's a Haven man down there in the centre of the park. But play continues on. Ian Maguire under pressure there. The man was quick to get up to try and put a tackle in. And again, the Bars just slowing things back down. But the Haven are trying to push up and press up the court. To use a basketball analogy. Play out here towards Dennis O'Brien. What can the Bars work? Can they get another score to add on? What is, as the wind and rain starts to team down here in Páirc Uí Rinn, Colin Lyons back outside towards Jamie Burns and Killian Myers-Murray. 116 now in this championship, but that was a loose pass. And it's gone out over the sideline.
Yeah, I think, as much as the Bars are on top, it's the free that Castlehaven gave the ball back to Bars for Sherlock's goal. Obviously, that's just a difference at the moment, but I think the Bars are a bit more comfortable. Castlehaven seem a bit rattled, but look, it's early days, Patrick.
Smart free one there by Brian Hurley.
Yeah, I actually didn't even see it. I was looking on trying to figure out what the Bars are doing with their forward line because I would be more in favour of keeping a few more inside there because they're just not taking the advantage and they're not using the wind.
Brian Hurley under pressure there. Pass it back towards Cathal Maguire. And a long pass up that near touchline. As that ball is now starting to be very, very slippery. And it's knocked out over the sideline. It's a Bars line ball, quickly taken by Owen McGreevy, who's covered a lot of ground already. Colm Scully in the centre of the park. Classy ball down towards his near touchline towards Dennis O'Brien. Beats the defender. Dennis O'Brien working his way inside. Looking for Myers-Murray. Dummy the shot, and he said you'd carry the ball in both hands.
A bit dodgy, I think. Maybe he did, but I think the Bars, I just don't think they're using this wind and the gale force that's with them. They tend to be bringing the ball out too far.
There's the Haven now looking to try and break out here. David McCarthy. Long ball up towards Damien Cahalan, but just too long for Cahalan. And it's a free out, and that's probably the side story to this game tonight. The three Cahalans playing with the Haven and hurling with the Bars.
I think the Bars are well used to that. There's been a couple of seasons now where the Bars have played Castlehaven in football. I think they're well used to Damien playing and Connor and Jack playing with Castlehaven in football and with the Bars in hurling. I don't think it doesn't bother them at all. But I take Derek's point. There doesn't seem to be enough bodies forward. And Castlehaven have an extra man there again. If I was the Bars, I'd probably put Stephen Sherlock on side and play two men off him and move the ball inside there.
As the Haven work that ball out closely from a triangle, Roland Welton, I should say, playing outside to Mark Collins. Damien Cahalan from centre back, playing a fist of ball into the left wing forward position. Here's Cathal Maguire, looking to try and take on two defenders, and there's a so-called rugby tackle. The question is, was the man dragged to the ground by Colin Lyons?
I think he was, and I don't think there's any need. If he was bearing in on goal, fair enough, but we're 45 metres out. There was no sense to that. The Bars could find themselves out down to 14 before they know it.
Already a forced substitution here by the Haven. It's David McCarthy who's come off for David Welton.
Black card.
And a black card is brandished here by Colin Lyons. Just have a look at the replay, Brian.
Yeah, I think, Patrick, just watching it live as well, the fact that he could see him coming from about 15 metres out. So as Derek said, he didn't have to actually panic at all.
Yeah,
He could actually,
there was
he could have
Bars
shot-
jerseys everywhere there.
He could have just
Everywhere.
shouted him towards the line.
Yeah.
It was actually very, very poor defending. But I think we have to go back to the fact, even if we look at the team at the moment, the Bars have a gale of wind with them, and there's only one Bars man up inside these 14. So I think they'd be much better off, and it would suit them even when they lose the ball if they could, put more bodies forward and actually defend much more cheaper forward.
That free converted there by Brian Hurley.
Yeah, super kick, with that wind into his face. And it's important that the Castlehaven do keep in touch. It looked like for a while that our Bars were going to start running away with the scoreboard. But if the Castlehaven keep them in check, it's going to make for a very exciting second half.
As you return to live pictures once again, it's Cian Walsh who is in possession now as the Bars reduce to 14 men now for the next 10 minutes approximately. We'll be looking for the time of 24:40 before that man can return to the field, Colin Lyons. What can the Haven do? Can they capitalise on that, especially against this strong wind? There's that ball, and there's a free there because there was a late foot in there by Roland Welton. It's going to be a free for the Bars, quickly taken by Ian Maguire. Spinning towards Cian Walsh, and the Bars now just looking to try and play some football into space. Ola Murphy under pressure, and it's a turned over ball. Now here come the Haven on the counter attack. Roland Welton out towards his captain Mark Collins to switch the play over towards that far side of the field. Came in Cahalan, play it short to Brian Hurley. This full forward line and half forward line of Castlehaven riddled with county stars, and here's one of them. Hurley, no foul once again, passes it to Maguire because he knew the advantage was coming, and it's a free in.
Yeah, you could see Ola Murphy had the ball there, and if the Bars continue to play around with the ball here in the middle third, they're down a man at the moment. Castlehaven can afford to have a sweeper, I know, but at the same time, if they keep making these type of mistakes and handing Castlehaven the ball, they're going to create a problem for themselves because they'll allow Castlehaven obviously to score too much in the first half playing against the Gale. But I think the Bars need to be a bit smarter. I think they need to move the ball a bit quicker, and I think if they do that, and get the ball to Murray and to Sherlock, they could do damage.
Here's Mark Collins with the resulting free off the left inside upright and all the way in and over the bar.
Yeah, that's 3 now from Mark Collins, and it's because of the likes of Brian Hurley. He's such a threat, and Mark is just picking off the scraps here.
And that is the water break as we look at that replay just off the inside of that upright.
Yeah,
Just
big point. Again, not a tap over with the conditions. So, in fairness, it's good skillful game. The free kicks were super. We've had a brilliant kick from Brian Hurley, and
as we
from Mark
see,
Collins.
just look at the picture. I know it's dark over as we see from Montenotte across, but it doesn't show clearly on the picture in front of us. But the rain is really teeming all the way across the field.
It is, yeah. And I think you've got as Brian was saying there about Owen Murphy. That attack came up there. He had oodles of time to place a ball in, but you could see it's just not even in his psyche to let the ball in. He was just they're looking for the hand pass all the time. That's the way they're coached, obviously.
Yeah.
But in a night like today, you just got to play a different way, especially with the wind. You've got to try and back yourself and back that kick pass. And the Bars full forward line, they're not that small, so they should be letting into them, and you should try a different way. You can just see it, they're coached to hand pass, and that's playing into Castlehaven's hands.
Yeah.
You're Paul O'Keefe, the manager of the Bars. Colin Lyons gone after 14 minutes, 40 seconds. Yeah. There's about another 7 minutes to go. What's the game plan from here now, just to try and keep it in the game?
Well, obviously he used to play with 6 defenders if Castlehaven are playing with 6 forwards. So I would think, I would take Derek's point, but I also, looking at the Bars full forward line, I don't think the movement, Derek, is enough out of them either. Yeah. I think Stephen Sherlock likes to play close to the goal. Yeah, there's not an awful lot of runs. I think Ola Murphy might have looked up once. Was he the guy to kick it? I'm not sure, but at the same you have to have the guy inside who's going to bust his chops to make runs over and back, and most especially now when you're a man down, you're going to have 2 inside who are going to work.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you the nominated free man looks to be Mark Collins, playing in front of the half back line. In fact, it's actually Rory Maguire who is going to be playing the free role for the next couple of minutes. That ball over there, Brian Hayes did very well to pick it up. Quite tough conditions here this evening in this semi-final of the Premier Senior Football Championship. What a day of Cork Championships it has been so far. And again, the question arises.
That's a black card for me. He pulled him down. If you're going to apply the rule, that's it. He pulled him down.
This is exactly what frustrates people involved in Gaelic football. 2 minutes ago, we had Colin Lyons go off with a black card. You know, we're looking here now in replay.
That's
It's the exact same. It's the exact same. He pulls him down as well. So you can't have one rule for one and one rule for someone else 2 minutes later.
Well, it's a chance for Stephen Sherlock to try and extend that lead back out, but no, goes left and wide. I must say, 200 people here. It sounds like 5,000.
Yeah, I'd say they've been told make some noise for their kick out. They're targeting it in the most obvious way. And to be fair, it's working for them.
If we only could have a camera down to our right hand side, all the bar supporters and players and mentors all standing on their feet. But they're playing with the 14 men for another 6 minutes possibly. As this play is walking through the centre of the park. Mark Collins offloading to Brian Hurley. Hurley's broken inside that tackle. Walk outside to Damien Cahalan. Damien Cahalan with a super score inside there. And the score is back down to 2 points.
Yeah, I can see their logic now why they wanted to play against the wind, because they're so comfortable with running the ball up with these big, strong runners coming through. So playing against the wind, I think, suits them.
Yeah, and you see there where you're a man down, allowed Castlehaven the very first time to get the short kick off. And that was the very start of their movement there. Up to now, they've been under pressure.
Super mark claimed inside there, but the man was fouled without playing the ball. That was Cathal Maguire, and the wrong man is actually after taking the free. Maguire should have taken it, but play continues on. As that ball's walked into the corner, Michael Hurley just spilling that for a moment, but there's a free man outside. It's Cathal Maguire back outside, out from the outside of the right peg. That ball won't go as Patrick O'Neill stops and probably does the right thing to keep the Bars on the move. And here's Jamie Burns offloading that ball over on that far side. There's a foul there by Conor Cahalan once again. The free taken quickly. Ian Maguire now looking to try and apply some pressure. No scores for the Bars since that black card in the 14th or in the 15th minute, I should say, from Colin Lyons. The Haven have scored 3 on the bounce. Michael Hurley, or Brian Hurley I should say, Mark Collins and Damien Cahalan, as the Bars now looking to try and get a score of their own. Against the head, one might say. Stephen Sherlock off the left peg. Sends it right and wide.
After 20 minutes, Patrick, I just get the sense that Castlehaven are a bit more economical going forward. They just have a little bit more threat about them, with the likes of Damien Cahalan coming up and the Hurley coming, and both Hurleys playing good. They just seem to be a little bit more dangerous, I think, versus the Bars.
And you see the Haven looking to try and keep this tempo up for this 10-minute period as quick as possible. As they walk it into the centre, and the luminous boots once again is Brian Hurley. Sending the ball low into the corner. There's a shot going around the body, snap around the body. What a score inside there from the Haven corner forward.
Michael Hurley, yeah.
Michael Hurley it is, Derek.
Yeah, super point. You don't really know. Bars are quite predictable in terms of the ball channels they're going through. Castlehaven tend to be spraying the ball all over the place, and it's paying off for them.
I think the Bars are going to have to tie down Brian Hurley a bit more. Everything seems to be going through him. He normally used to see Brian in by the goal scoring, but tonight in the first half here they played him out centre forward, and he's like their conductor. And I think Jamie Burns is going to have to tighten up on him here big time and stop play going through him, because once he has it, he's very, very dangerous in terms of setting up scores.
Ian Maguire fouled on this occasion. It's going to be a noting taking by John Ryan, and in fact it's going to be further than a noting. Just speaking to by the Haven captain Mark Collins, and it is just going to be a noting as the book goes back into the right hand pocket of our Macroom official. As this play now works up, Cian Walsh in possession. We have about 9 minutes gone in that sin bin, but you must remember there was about a 90-second water break, so approximate 2 minutes left in that black card. Michael Shields, haven't mentioned Shields too much this evening so far. In towards Alan O'Connor, he's making an advanced roll from the cornerback position. Recycles the ball back outside to Killian Myers-Murray, who goes back to midfield to Cian Walsh. And this is the pressure that the Haven have been applying over the last 7 or 8 minutes. Colm Scully now looking to try and work the ball into space over in that far corner. Thought about playing backwards, didn't, and worked it into a triangle. A chance now for Ian Maguire to take on this Haven defence. Play the ball outside. It looks like a score from the training ground if it works, and it does.
Yeah, I think Ian Maguire made that. Bars were going nowhere, just side to side. It just took someone like Ian Maguire to take it on and create the overlap.
Brian Hayes it was with the score on that occasion. Super score indeed. As you come back to live pictures, as they have, and again on the counter attack, Colin Maguire has beaten 2 defenders. He's tearing down the heart of this Bars defence. A shot going in for the Haven, and that's a quick levelling score inside there. It looks to be Rory Maguire, it might be. In fact, it's Jamie Walsh is the man who's scored that. It's a level game once again, and the Haven playing against the wind this evening. The referee, they're calling for the man to come back onto the field, but with that water break, he's probably got another minute to go. He's standing in front of us, warming up Colin Lyons. As that kick out now is taken by Patrick O'Neill once again. Ian Maguire dispossessed in the catching of that ball by Mark Collins. And here's Conor Cahalane. Cahalane now just recycling that ball outside to Mark Collins. Can the Haven get one more score before the sin bin? Walking up through the centre of the park. Roland Welton. Here's Jamie Walsh once again, score of that last point. Good nick around there by Michael Hurley. Hurley bearing down. And it's a free in for Haven.
I think he did very well to get that free there.
I'd like to see that back. I think he went over 4 steps there.
Yeah.
Just see here.
I think he knew he did. He was going to be outnumbered here, Patrick, and I think if we count the steps he takes here, look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
No, I think he fell.
He fell.
He fell.
He threw himself down.
I wouldn't give it free for that.
But look, it's going to be another point for Castlehaven. They've done very, very well since Colin Lyons has gone off. I think the extra man has made a huge difference. Their running game is up and running, and I think also they've managed to get off these quick kick-outs, which are giving them primary possession, which they didn't have in the first 10 or 12 minutes. But the Bars will do very well to get in ahead of here at half-time, to be honest.
In that period, it's been 6 points to 1 for the Haven, and they've utilised that sin bin period to perfection. And against the wind, more crucially.
Yeah, and I think they're very effective going against the wind, Patrick, in fairness to them. Like, it seems to be the Bars are predictable, whereas Castlehaven are just so efficient at running through the ball.
That ball walked into the corner once again. Michael Hurley inside over there. Tackle inside there by Ian Maguire as the Bars have resumed back to 15 men. Colin Lyons is back on the field. And free going to be taken there by Ian Maguire as we enter the final 3 minutes of this semi-final. And the Bars now have gone inside looking up the field off camera. It's 3 men inside that full forward line. Jamie Burns now looking to try and walk it through the lines. There was a pull of the jersey there, so another noting to be put into the book of John Ryan as that free is quickly taken by Colm Scully. Back up to Cian Walsh and Ian Maguire with a dispossession there on this occasion, and Brian Hurley has ended up on the floor, but the call is a free out for touching the ball on the floor. That free is quickly taken by the Bars. Here's Colin Lyons, the man who was on a black card. Ball just kept in, cutely played, and Dennis O'Brien did very well to keep it in. He's trying to evade 2-3 tacklers. There's a big shot going in there from Stephen Sherlock, but that ball won't go out. With a will now, without the assistance of Brian Hayes, that ball goes right and wide.
Yeah, that's their main score threat there, Stephen Sherlock. They're playing with a gale force wind. He's getting on the ball 45 metres out with Damien Callahan all over him, so doesn't look like an effective ploy.
Seymour, not too many options. Again, he's forced to go along looking for Mark Collins. He's under pressure from Ian Maguire. But again, they haven't win the breaking ball. That ball is dropped inside, and the referee says, lads, it's unplayable from there, we'll hop it up. So, a chance now. Can the Bars try and level this game? They've only got 1 point since the 10th minute. Maguire under pressure inside there. McGreevy was fouled though in the process of kicking the ball by Rory Maguire. And it's a free in 45 yards out, and a chance now for the Bars to level up this game.
Yeah, I think the Bars, Patrick, should be showing a bit more composure. They won a county championship only 2 or 3 years ago, so and they've all those players there playing. I think they need to settle the game down a bit. They still have, a couple of minutes before half time is going to come. 2 or 3 points here and make a big difference to them going into half time, and I think they need to score those.
Sherlock was being put off by the crowd inside there, under pressure from the Haven supporters, and the pressure told.
Yeah, I think so. It's amazing actually. There's only a couple of hundred people there. I said it before. It's just the noise is quite raucous, to say the least.
There's that kick out from Seymour. Finds a man cleanly on this occasion. That's David Welton. And the Haven now in this scoreline, if they're going in at half time, would be quite very pleased. A point up going to injury time, and a foul there by Stephen Sherlock. The Haven up by a point, playing against the wind.
Yeah,
There will be 2 minutes of injury time, lads.
I go back to when the Bars played Ballincollig in the very first round of the championship in the group stages. They had a period of dominance at the start, and Ballincollig really came back at them and they fell away. But then the Bars decided that they were going to up the ante. They got a lot more physical, they got a lot tighter. I think tonight they came out all guns blazing, but as soon as Colin Lyons went off, Castlehaven were very smart with the ball and they really hurt them. And I think in the second half the Bars are going to come back out here and they're going to have to go to war if they're going to try and win this game.
The Haven now looking to try and go up through the lines. Jamie Walsh under pressure inside there from Michael Shields. Overcarrying the ball is the call.
Yeah, fair call there, Patrick. He did overcarry.
A chance now for the Bars. Well, it's been a tense encounter in this opening 31 minutes here in Park Urin. That ball squirted over there, but it's run out over the sideline. An unforced turnover going against the Bars. And a chance now for the Haven to try and work it through the lines. Damien Cahalan working over the halfway line, boots that ball long, but a defensive mark claimed inside there by Alan O'Connor. Can the Bars now level up before the close out of this opening half? Colin Lyons under pressure now from the high court press from the Haven. Ian Maguire popping the ball over the top. Maguire makes an off the shoulder run himself, works it over towards that far side. The chance inside here for Brian Hayes. Maguire was taken out of it off the ball. I don't think the referee saw it. Play continues on. Seymour gains composure to gather that ball, and the Haven now just looking to try and wind down that clock. They know they're in a comfortable position going into half time with a 1 point lead. Mark Collins offloading to Brian Hurley in the centre of the park. Hurley under pressure has to recycle that ball backwards. Jamie Walsh now in possession as John Ryan blows the half-time whistle in this Cork Premier Senior Football Championship semi-final, sponsored by the Bon Secures. It is Castlehaven who lead at half-time. 8 points to St Finbarrs, 1-4, lads. It's been an enthralling opening 30 minutes.
Has been. It's been very aggressive, very fast. It's been a good game of football. On the balance of things, I think the Haven are worthy of that 1 point lead, albeit it's against the Gale Force win. So I think the balance of things, they're looking like a 4 or 5 point better team so far. They seem to have more intent, is the word I'd sum it up with. The Bars are going forward, they're getting plenty of possession, but they seem to kind of have no real intent. Sometimes Stephen Sherlock is coming out, sometimes Killian Myers-Murray is coming out, and there's no real intention with the direction of their play. Castlehaven, on the other hand, I think are really causing trouble. Balls going through Brian Hurley almost all the time. He's causing a lot of trouble. Michael Hurley's causing a lot of trouble, and Mark Collins is picking up where getting your free. So
let's
a lot more
look at
intense.
this goal that was scored by the Bars in the opening half, lads. And this is the mistake, Brian, by Ronan Walsh allowing Stephen Sherlock to bury that ball to the back of the net.
Like even if the Castlehaven were going to get possession from that free, the man was going to be immediately under pressure. Like, you'd rarely see somebody giving a sharp free across his goal, in front of his goal. If he was putting it out to the wing on this side, you'd say something, but it was just a mistake. It was a mistake. It happened. At that stage, the Bars had a big cushion. They seemed to be dominating Anthony Seymour's kick out. They really were on top. But as soon as I said earlier on, Colin Lyons went off, the Bars lost their way. But to be fair to Castlehaven, they upped the ante. They smelled blood. They, every time that the Bars had possession, Castlehaven afforded themselves a sweeper in front of Stephen Sherlock because of the spare man. And every time that Castlehaven got possession, which they could do easier because of the extra man on kick out, they actually ran the ball quite well. Really, really looked impressive. Moved the ball through Brian at centre forward. Every time Brian gets the ball, you know, a lot of times, anyway, not every time, the ball goes to Michael, and they've looked very, very, very dangerous. You know, if you're a betting man right now, the bookies would have had it right, Derek, before the game, because it looks as if Castlehaven really, if and I'd go along with Derek completely here, they look to have a better method of what they're trying to do. They're trying to work the ball to Brian. He conducts play from in around the 45, and I think even in the second half they can actually vary up what they're going to do. If they want to keep using Brian as centre forward, grand, but they'll trouble the Bars if they put Brian and Michael inside together, because they're a deadly combination. But all of that is prefaced by the fact that they'd have to have the ball. I do still think that the Bars could put some pressure on Antti Seymour's kick out, and I do think that the Bars are going to have to come here, and as I said just a while ago, they have to go to war here if they're going to claw their, and really, really it's clawing their way out of this one, to get to play Nemo. And I think, you know, they will give it something here for 10 or 12 minutes, but if Castlehaven continue to be as smart as they are, as efficient as they are, and as good as they are, you can only see one winner really right now.
I suppose we saw it in the hurling final that the wind was so strong that fellas were taking shots in 60, 70, 80 yards out, and the wind was carrying the ball over the bar. I suppose in football now you could start thinking about bringing out the likes of Michael Hurley, Brian Hurley, Conor Cahalane out to the middle of the field to bring it into the half-hour line, take shots now from 40, 50 yards out, knowing the ball they're going to carry.
Yeah, and the likes of Brian Hurley there now, he'll fancy him, especially it's that kind of wind across the pitch. It's the guy that can kick with the outside of the boot almost. You saw Killian Myers-Murray try it there, just hit off the post and wide. The likes of Brian Hurley now will love that type of play, you know, and they will get the ball. He's going to get plenty of ball, and that's where I think Castlehaven will score with the wind a lot easier than the Bars have done.
Where defensively can the Bars now shut that down, playing against the wind? Where are the scores now going to come from?
I think they have to push up on Castlehaven kick-out. They've done it really efficiently. They have to continue on, create this sense of panic on their kick-out and make them make mistakes, because the Bars possibly, I think, are stronger in the kick-outs. Anecdotally, I'm only going off here, but they look to be on top of midfield on Castlehaven's kick-out. They have to press that and double down on that, and I think they can do that quite easily, and hopefully get some, for their sake, to get some rewards from that.
Yeah, I think the way the Bars, and Derek alluded earlier on as well, is that the way the Bars seem to play, they wanted to get a one-out runner here around the middle third, break a tackle, and then hand the ball to Myers-Murray or Stephen Sherlock. They didn't seem intent on kicking it in. So in the second half, due to the fact that they're against such a gale, we haven't bar once the Ian Maguire show, as I call it, right, where he puts on these afterburners and he dominates the game for about 10 minutes. But that's all it needs to be, because he creates havoc in that 10 minutes. The Bars need that now. The Bars need him to burst through tackles, create one overlap, and basically get another goal.
I think, to be fair, he did try it there in the last 2 minutes, but he was just taken out of it.
Yeah.
You know, late in the move.
Yeah, Castlehaven, no, this is the Bars' biggest weapon in terms of punching into their defence. And, you know, if the ball didn't go in with the wind, I can't see how the ball is going to go in against the wind. So they know, Castlehaven know, if the Bars are going to do anything, they're going to run at us. Ian Maguire particularly will run at us. You know, Colin Lyons will run at us. You know, if we can stop those type of players running at us, we soak up pressure, and then, you know, they could play them a bit on the counter-attack, because they know that Brian is on top, they know that Michael is on top inside, and they know that if they get the ball to them, they will score. You know, at this stage, all they have to do is win the second half, and they're into the final. Simple as. Simple as
indeed. But if it was straightforward, we all wouldn't be here, gents. That's the whole crucifix. But next Sunday, then, the big final, I suppose it's down in Park. We've seen most of the games here in Park you're in, but it'll be a big occasion to whoever gets to the final.
Huge, because there's a good, healthy tradition between Nemo and the Bars, or Nemo and Castlehaven. So it'll be a super game. Can't wait for it. I do think
it's great for you to be sitting back as the Nemo man, to be knowing you're in the final.
Yeah, and to be honest, at Parsa today, I didn't think we were going to be there, but and I think, you know, I'd be doing a disservice to Nemo and Duhallow to say Nemo got through in the skin of their teeth, because Duhallow did so good and Nemo just pipped them at the end, in fairness. But the likes of Conor Horgan came on, scored 2 great scores. James McDermott midfield was brilliant. Paul Kerrigan was excellent at getting scores at the right time. So I think Nemo did enough from some of their bigger players. So it's great to be there, and really looking forward to whoever comes out. I just have a suspicion it's going to be Castlehaven at this stage.
Let's have a look at the two benches quickly. Who, from the Castlehaven point of view, are the one or two lads to watch out for coming on? I know Jack Cahalane might be one.
I think Jack Cahalane came on the week as well.
Yeah, Jack certainly is one to watch. He's a very, very, very good player, and I don't think he's out of his depth playing at senior level, even though the fact he's only 17 or 18. I think Shane Nolan was very good for Castlehaven a number of years ago. Stories with him, but if he comes on, he'll add something to the forward line as well. The Bars, I'm not quite sure. We were talking around Colm Keane before the game why he was not selected. He must be injured because he is one of the linchpins for the Bars in around the middle, and he'd make a difference. But I do think, honestly, I do think if Castlehaven retained the composure that they showed there for that 15 minutes, it's irrelevant really who the Bars might be able to bring on, unless they come out here really, really all guns blazing.
Yeah, I think the Bars have nothing to lose now. They have to go at it, almost not being violent about it, but there has to be just a kind of a battle, an absolute battle.
It's going to be a bit like playing high-risk football, like what we saw during the week with Newcestown.
Yeah.
They played so high up the field against the Bars. They were trying to take the risks.
They've got to just go 1 for 1 now and just have a battle and use the crowd to their advantage, or lack of, but whatever crowd they have tends to be working for their kickouts, and they need that to go with the rest of their play. I just think it has to be an all-out battle for them to win this game.
Well, it's going to be an all-out battle that's going to be played out over the next 35 minutes or so. Live coverage of this Cork Premier Senior Football Championship semi-final second half is now underway through John Ryan. And the Haven looking to try and get that opening possession of the game through Jamie Walsh. First time ball inside. Is there a chance for an early goal for the Haven? Michael Hurley just inside the post. And it's gone in and over the bar.
Super point, unorthodox, just knocked it off the ground in fairness. And but good poacher's eye.
Brian on replay. He could have went for goal on the snapshot.
I think he was, the cornerback had him in control. He did the right thing. And good point to get out of there.
The ball's played in towards the centre of the park. Looks like it could be a change on the Bars team. Owen Finn and Conor Dennehy are in. We'll get those substitutes in a moment. The Bars defensively don't need to walk up through the channels. Here's Alan O'Connor. Walking it up inside towards Michael Shields, and Shields towards this near touchline towards Jamie Burns. Burns is under pressure, but did well to offload to Owen McGreevy as we watch off camera. Maguire being man-marked there in the centre of the park. Following the play though, McGreevy working his way through, no advantage accruing. And it's going to be a free in for the Haven, or for the Bars, I should say.
I think the Bars are bringing on Conor Denny and Owen Finn. I'm not quite sure who they've taken off yet. But certainly both of them would be... certainly Conor Denny would have experience of playing a lot with the Bars senior team that won the county championship, as I say, a number of years ago. Owen Finn will be renowned as a hurler as well. He's very, very quick, extremely pacey. So I think the Bars, are going to be relying on that kind of pace to break tackles. But certainly in the first attack after half time, Castlehaven are not slow in moving the ball inside to Michael Hurley, and I'd say we'll see a lot more of that.
Has this kick out now been taken once again under the roars and screams from the Bars supporters in the stand? And again it's the Haven who've won the breaking ball. One of those substitutes might be Cian Walsh. We'll gather that in a second. Here's Brian Hurley though, winning possession, getting out in front of Alan O'Connor, showing a good pair of feet there, Brian Hurley. But this time he was dispossessed by Alan O'Connor, and O'Connor wins back that ball. Played outside towards Conor Dennehy. Something has happened off the ball there.
It's going to be a free in here, I'd say.
Just scanning through the field, lads.
Brian
Cian
Hurley
Walsh
now.
looks like one that's gone.
Yeah.
Brian Hurley is injured down there, and John Ryan is going to have to go back and speak to his official. Obviously something happened there. Brian, I don't know, did you catch it? But we'll catch it. We'll have a look here on the replay.
Just after the Bars won the ball back, I think somebody ran into Brian, I'd say.
Yeah, looks like the centre-back, Ola Murphy, has taken them completely out of it. And Brian Hurley has been spoken to by John Ryan.
I think, to be fair, Brian initiated it, but I think Olin finished it.
So the call is going to be interesting here now because Owen Murphy is being attended to, but John Ryan knows what he's looking for, and he's telling Maguire to stay away. I don't want your opinion.
I wouldn't be surprised, Patrick, with John Ryan, that he will give Olin a black card for taking a man out off the ball. And if that's the case, the Bars are going to find it very difficult to win this game.
Well, now we're going to find out the moment of truth, as there's a substitution for the Bars over on that far side of the field, I think. We concentrate now as our attention's turned to the Macroom official, and Owen Murphy is pleading his case. It's only a yellow card.
Yeah. I don't understand, like, if you take a man out
No,
off
to be
the
fair,
ball.
we have the benefit of replay as well in front of us.
Now, this is the ball the Bars had, and now they're under pressure again with a free from, I'd say it's Brian Hurley, is it? Or Mark Collins?
That's Mark Collins.
Mark Collins.
Mark Collins on that 21-metre line with the aid of a strong breeze here this evening. Looking to try and extend this lead out to 2 points. And where is going short with it, in fact. Looking to try and work the angle. Collins, though, was half blocked down there. And you question why didn't he go for the score. As the Bars now looking to try and work the channels out through Michael Shields in full back position. On the loop, Shields from Colin Lyons. And Shields had a handoff there into the face of the Haven man. We might have to come back to that in a moment. Play continues on through Brian Hayes. Jamie Burns recycling the ball inside towards Owen Murphy. Ball sent in low inside. There are chances of deflection inside there, but the Bars still in control of this one. Dennis O'Brien in possession now. In that far corner. Walked out towards Killian Myers-Murray. Murray now just playing it low outside, and it was cleanly picked up off the ground inside there. And it's going to be a free out for the Haven.
Number 30, Conor O'Driscoll is replaced by number 19.
And that's the introduction of Jack Callahan, was the man who was introduced only moments ago. Conor O'Driscoll is the man who has left the field of play. As that free now is quickly taken backwards towards Rory Maguire. Maguire under the pressure there of Sherlock. Sherlock putting in a big shift there now, trying to get the tackle in, and he's done so, but the Haven do very well to keep it working up through the channels. How much more can they work it up through? Over on that far side of the field, Maguire. Here's Brian Hurley now again, 45 yards off from goal. But this one's just going to drift to the right-hand side. We look at the Irish flag down to our right-hand side, lads. It's more coming cross-field now than whatever it was today.
Huge win. I think it was worth the punt, all right, from Brian. Some fella who would probably fancy his chances there, so I wouldn't give out them too much about
Would
that
you
one.
question about not taking the score from Mark Collins a short while ago? Going
Definitely,
for a punt?
absolutely I would, yeah, because I think they probably backed themselves a bit too much in terms of the cross-field balls. They tend to love that with the Hurleys. Definitely, point was on and should have been taken.
Ian Maguire under pressure there from Mark Collins. Play continues on, and here comes the big engine of Maguire winning a free in the centre of the field. He's pleading for a black card, but one would think that that's shy of being given one. No mark can be claimed from a set play, so play continues on. Not sure if they got the rule confused. Owen Finn, play out towards Owen Murphy. Recycling the ball back outside towards Killian Myers-Murray. Dangerous ball inside. But the man was going backwards and looked like tripped over his own legs, Brian Cuthbert.
Yeah, I think there was nothing in that, Patrick. I think the one thing I would say is the Bars have upped the ante as well, but as we were looking for.
I know
free in,
another
free
questionable.
in, yeah, I think they definitely have upped the ante, and I think, you know, always and ever with the Bars, Derek, I think the experience I'd have with them anyway is that they're at their best when there's a war on. And
That's
I think,
my point, exactly. There has to be an out battle. That's kind of what I meant.
Yeah,
It was just
they're at their best when there's a war on, and I think they certainly knew that coming out in the second half, if they didn't bring this to an absolute war, and as you said, it's not violent or anything like that, but the intensity of the tackling, the pressing up, the work rate there of Stephen Sherlock earlier on,
Yeah.
you know, if he was never going to chase down three men, but he was still there. I think the Bars have a sniff, but they need to sustain this now for about 10 minutes.
Yeah, and you can hear it again for the kick out. Here they go again. The crowd are on top of them. The line are on top of them. They're trying to intimidate the Castlehaven kick out again.
As that kick out from Seymour goes short. What was that left corner back position? Over there, Ronan Walsh under pressure. Haven now looking to try and run this ball out of the fence. Is this a bit of game of keep ball rather than punt ball? Just trying to work it through the lines over on that far side of the field. The pressure being applied though by Stephen Sherlock. But again, they haven't get out of a tight corner. And now here comes Damien Cahalan. Passes the ball long into the centre of the park for Mark Collins. Collins working his way inside. In towards Michael Hurley. And then here come the on-runners. A great hit inside there, shoulder to shoulder, says a referee. And it's a turnover ball and a free one there by Maguire.
Yeah.
A super hit inside there by the
Yeah,
the Bears
great
captain.
tackle, great shoulder. But like you can see the Bears after getting a sniff, they can see that by upping the intensity, they'll keep themselves in the game here. I think on the Castlehaven kick out, the Bears are zonal, but I think they'd actually be better off going man on man. Because Andy Seymour is getting a corner that he can see, very fairness to him, it's quite accurate.
Yeah.
He's getting that corner 2 or 3 times, and I think the Bears would be much better off putting the squeeze on man and kick out.
I never understand why any team would give up that possession, especially a night like tonight. It's cynic, it's a bit silly.
Especially whenever every battle, every single ball, Derek, is a battle. And I think they'd be better off just going man on man and go
I
at him.
completely agree.
Bears just trying to be patient now and looking to try and punch holes in this Haven defence despite playing against a strong breeze here in Park Urin. McGreevy offloading that ball to Owen Finn, walking the ball inside to Sherlock. Sherlock is the potent man, but just couldn't land the score. And that could be crucial at the end of the game.
Yeah, that could have been a big one. It suited him right. Like he was just coming out around the arch. He should have nailed it. But in fairness, he is having a good game tonight. So I think his confidence is up. He will get more.
Again, like they're gone zonal here, they'd be much better off. They go man on man, make it a war. Don't give them a sniff here.
As you can see, they've went zonal and forced a long kick out once again. And Michael Shields getting his hands on the ball from that kick out. What can the Bears do from here? Well, it's Killian Myers-Murray in that right corner forward position. Dummy inside and out and just plays it back calmly out to Dennis O'Brien, who turns on the afterburners once again. Puts on a great solo inside. O'Brien with the shot, and Dennis O'Brien with the leading score once again for the Bears.
To be fair to Michael Shields, lads, he's playing a very, very intelligent second half. He's like as always, he's very combative. At the same time, he's using all of his experience just to move the ball away, break it away. He knew he had more bodies around him. And then when he gets on the ball, he never, ever, all his career, he never wasted, to be fair to him.
Yeah.
And I think I don't know how long he could last midfield here, but he certainly is having a huge influence on the game at the moment.
He is.
As that kick-out's been taken, substitution on the Bears. Adam Lyne is in now for Colin Lyons, who was on a black card from that first half, but that ball's quickly kicked in towards Stephen Sherlock. Sherlock with a snapshot around the body. What a score!
Brilliant. Great score. This is the type of, I think the Bears, it suits their play in terms of the ball just ricocheting around like that. In terms of the long ball in, it doesn't seem to suit them that well. They're not that well at winning the balls versus the likes of Brian Hurley or Michael Hurley. But when the ball comes up and they have to knock the ball around, the likes of Killian Myers-Murray or Brian Hayes, or as we saw there, Stephen Sherlock, that's what they're good at.
And it's all gone back to the kick out. As soon as the Bears win this primary possession, they're in control. Now Castlehaven have it.
But instead it's the Haven walking inside. Here's Brian Hurley now after receiving that ball inside from Mark Collins. Off the left peg of Hurley. Trying to turn in. Just goes left and wide. Is that now the pressure being applied by the Bears despite the Bears playing against the wind?
I think it's more to do with Brian in a way. He hasn't had the ball for about 6 minutes here, 7 minutes. He's the type of player that needs to have the ball an awful lot. And then when he gets the ball after not having it for a while, he will try and bring himself into the game by shooting. Maybe when another couple of steps maybe on the cards, you know.
Yeah, and you said it there as well, Brian, earlier. The Bears did this against Ballincollig where they come out and absolutely dominated the game, and here they're doing it. So let's see if they can keep it up.
Well, here comes Michael Shields once again, working that ball inside towards Dennis O'Brien's. Their advance mark to be claimed here. Well, it was not taken by Owen Finn. Quickly played on, and the triangle worked inside. A chance for Finn though, and on the loop around, but just off the outside of that post, going right and wide.
Yeah. To be fair to him, Patrick, Owen Finn has made a bit of a difference as well. On this side of the field, the Bears, every time they have the ball, they seem to be able to get inside the half-back line of Castlehaven and actually create chance either for Stephen Sherlock or for Owen Finn himself.
As that kick out was taken short by Seymour over on that far side. Here's Damien Cahalan now. The Haven now looking to try and get a foot mark on this game. As that ball is sent long inside towards his younger brother Jack Cahalan, starting that Premier 1 Championship victory during the week. Is there a chance of a score inside? Michael Hurley zipping inside, straight at the keeper. Second opportunity, bobbing around like a pinball machine. But unbelievable, it hasn't gone in. Brian Hurley has knocked it, kept it in from the going out of play. And a chance now for Cathal Maguire. Maguire under pressure, needs to try and get a score from the Haven. But this ball goes in and right and wide, would you believe it? Well, I'm looking forward to seeing this replay, Derek Kavanagh.
Yeah, the longer this game goes on for the Haven without getting a score now, they're going to get nervy. Yeah, it's just absolutely mad sequence of events here. Don't know how that didn't go in. But probably should have taken a point, because I don't know how long it's been since the Haven have got a point. There it was there for them to take. And just game seems to be going away from them a little bit here.
13 minutes since the Haven have scored, Brian Cuthbert.
Yeah, you can see, but I don't think they'll panic yet, Patrick. To be fair to them, they have a good bit of experience on their team. I just think that that was a glorious chance they didn't take, fair enough, but I think they will still have plenty of chances. But it's primary possession is the issue here, big time.
Breaking ball won on that occasion by Owen Finn. 2 hops to the ball, and now John Ryan has noticed that after the rows of the Castlehaven. And the intensity on the pitch, but also the intensity in the seats of the stand is incredible tonight.
It is. It's great to be here. It's a great atmosphere around the place. It's a really enjoyable game.
And I hope you all at home are enjoying it too. For what has been a busy couple of months in the Irish Examiner live streaming service, and it won't end here this weekend. We've got county finals coming up this week, or next weekend I should say, and that will be announced during the week. As that Haven man is under pressure inside in the corner, and Mark Collins also under pressure, but he did very well to offload the ball. Walk inside towards the centre. They're walking through the channels. There's another chance of a score of a goal for the Haven, and there is. It's gone inside.
Cahalan, is it?
Conor Cahalan, it looks to be.
Conor Cahalan.
Yeah.
Mark Collins working that ball across the D exclusion zone towards Jamie Walsh, and it is the middle-aged of the Conor Cahalan brothers who buries the ball to the back of the net.
An opportune time. What an opportune time to score that goal as we go into the water break, Patrick. But to be fair, Castlehaven, they had very little possession in that 15 minutes. They looked like scoring a goal just before they actually did. The Bars, lived on 9 lives not to concede that first goal. But the second goal there, I think the Bars had them defended on this side of the field. But obviously people didn't pick up on the other because there was a 2-on-1 inside. And to be fair to Conor Cahalan, there was a lot of power in that shot and went through the keeper's legs, I'd say.
Yep. There for Mark Collins to see the space across, use Jamie Walsh, and Walsh obviously got the call from Cahalan that there was a run off the shoulder being made.
That there was no overlap there. But Mark Collins, again, a bit like Michael Shields, he doesn't waste possession either. He's a very experienced player. He's very, very comfortable on the ball, left and right hand, left and right leg. And, once he got into the centre of the field, he saw that, we'd have a 2-on-1 here, and it was an actually brilliantly executed goal in the end. And it's after giving a slight unfair reflection on that 15 minutes, because the Bars brought the war that we spoke about, and they'd be very disappointed to concede that goal, but I think it gives Castlehaven a very good opportunity again. But the Bars have to reset and go again here now.
Go to the field, both sides now retaking their positions up in the field.
Yeah, I've been more than impressed with the Bars in the second half. I was quite critical of them in the first half in terms of their method of working the ball up. I can now see what they're about in terms of creating that overlap that they're getting in the second half, and they just don't have the players, the likes of O'Brien early, to give it to, but what they do is they've got dainty guys like Dennis O'Brien and Stephen Sherlock to take the ball around the loop.
Well, 90 seconds in that water break will be added on at the end of the half. Ball punched down there by Mark Collins. There was a hand on it, and a chance now for Kieran O'Sullivan. They try and work the score. Oh, there was a dangerous ball. Maguire got a foot in there. There's feet flying in. Body's been thrown on the line. McGreevy, though, with a beautiful soccer skill, trying to pick it up. Just couldn't get it. But Owen Finn does. And now come the Bars trying to work out once again. After doing so much good work in that third quarter, they went into the water break 1 point down. Possession over on that far side is with Conor Dennehy. Dennehy under pressure. Looking now, trying to take it up into the centre of the park, and Denny's gone on a 25-30 yard run, pokes the ball long into the corner. Sherlock will just keep it in from going out. And there's a push in the back there, and now a chance for the Bars possibly to level up this game.
Stupid, going nowhere on the line, about to bring it over himself, and just a silly push. Absolutely very silly.
A chance inside here in the corner from Stephen Sherlock. You possibly can't. You just catch him on the left-hand side of your screen.
Not an easy kick over here either by any means, Patrick.
The Haven crowd really raucous here this evening as Sherlock takes this shot, beautifully executed, and the Bars fans are standing on their feet. It's a level game again.
Yeah, that was a good score.
It's fairly raucous right in the stand there. I think any time there's kickouts or frees, both sets of supporters are trying to put people under pressure. I wouldn't be surprised if there could be some trouble yet down there to our right, Patrick. But in fairness,
mistake from the Haven keeper. He's kicked the ball in, and the man defender has caught it inside the de-exclusion zone. That was Damien Cahalan, and it's going to be a hot ball. Yeah. That was a critical error there.
I was about to criticise the Bars for not going man for man there. Don't understand why they're coughing up that early possession. It just worked in their favour there, but I think a bit fortuitous for the Bars.
Yeah, absolutely fortuitous, Derek. Like,
it could be a substitution for the Bars. It's going to be held up for the moment, I would think.
Owen Keane, another very strong man.
This hot ball is thrown in though. But they Haven looking to try and get out of it under pressure inside there. Which way is this going to go? The Bars come out with it. McGreevy out to Sherlock. Sherlock snap around the body, and the Bars take the lead again.
Yeah, it's a bit early to be jumping around and dancing up and down. There's 12 minutes to go in the game, but
something happening off the ball here.
Here we go.
Sherlock got a poke
Here we
off
go.
the ball. And as they'd say in Aussie rules, it's on. There's spot fires everywhere. And there's fellas jumping into tackles here. Well, this is something you don't want to see in Gaelic games, but my God, there is spot fires happening absolutely everywhere here. This is really breaking out, and scenes that we really don't want to see in Gaelic football. Oh my word. Well.
Not sure what happened initially. It's obviously when Stephen Sherlock got that bang off the ball. Yeah, it all kicked off from there. Don't know what happened though.
And things now are just getting unhealthy here in the field and the stands. Paul O'Keefe is being told to move away. Damien Cahalan just asked him to move off the field. There's players and officials all over the place. It's a bit of a mess now, and John Ryan just needs to try and take calm, hold structure of this. Something happened off the ball which caused Stephen Sherlock to end up on the floor, and spot fires happened all over the field. They came from everywhere here in Park Urin.
I think if this fire, as you call it, Patrick, isn't put out by someone being sent off, this battle is just going to go on and on, because if there's not a red card given out here, I think it's going to get quite violent.
Well, to be fair now, to give the referee benefit of the doubt here, he needs to see, or his officials need to have seen what's happened to be given a red card. Paul O'Keefe is making his way up now to the Bars, or the Bars managers making his way up. And there's people in the crowd here getting unnatured here as well. No real need for it, but here now, John Ryan, just take his time. He's doing the right thing here, Brian. Getting everything double checked.
Look, even from the vantage point that we have, we didn't actually, I don't think any of the three of us didn't spot what happened. I actually think this doesn't kind of suit the Bars in a way. They've just scored. They've just got ahead. They've just had the impetus. They're against the Gale, I know, but there's going to be another 3 or 4 minutes at it on the end. It's when you get on top, you'd like the game to actually continue. So I think this suits Castlehaven a small bit. Even though the Bars are against the Gale, even though they're a point up, I think they didn't actually need that.
Let's see now what the decision from a Macroom official is going to be, because a lot of things happened off the ball there, and he's going to be looking for somebody. And let's take close attention now. A Macroom official is looking around, and he is looking for somebody. Play is currently stopped. I'm just not sure who he is looking for. Well,
Ronan
Roland Welton is the man being called. Also inside there is Owen McGreevy, who did jump into a tackle, I think. I don't want to be certain of that until...
I think, to be fair to Owen McGreevy, he actually ran in. He didn't hit anyone. He just jumped up and got pushed at the same time. He's quite small, but we didn't see what actually happened with Stephen
This could be a
Sherlock.
crucial juncture in this game, lads, with 6 minutes left in the clock. McGreevy and Ronan Welton getting 2 red cards, so both sides now are going to finish this game with 14 men. As there's a substitute, we mentioned him right ago. Owen Keane is coming onto the field, but 2 red cards for an unsatisfactory dramatic incident
I
there.
definitely didn't see Roland Welton do anything, and as you say about Owen McGreevy, he did come in, but he did not come in waving his hands or anything like that.
He just jumped and he got pushed.
Yeah, I think it's just opportunistic by the referee to kind of to quench this. I think more than anything.
Michael Shields
definitely.
is the man coming off there, lads.
Yeah, Michael Shields has come off there.
I'd say Owen Keane's gone straight in midfield. I'd say, in fairness to Michael, as you were saying there earlier, Brian, he's had a super game. He put in a brilliant game, in fairness to him. So they'll be looking for Owen Keane to take off from where Michael left off.
Well, let's hope now the footballing can do the talking for the next 8, 9, 10 minutes, whatever we have left in this quite entertaining Cork Premier Senior Football Championship semi-final. Damien Cahalan passing it off out towards Rory Maguire. Conor Cahalan now in possession, 45 yards out from goal. Being tackled inside there, but Cahalan still working away, looking to try and get the offload to Brian Hurley. And the Bears looking to turn it over, and they have a chance now to go on the counter-attack. Here's Ian Maguire, with Bears only have 1 foot forward inside the Castlehaven 45-metre line. That's Myers Murray. Here's Stephen Sherlock walking through the channels, up now towards Adam Lyne and in towards Myers Murray. Under pressure, but doing very well. Out towards Owen Finn. Into the corner, goal to Bears with possession. Looking to try and work it out for a score. Killian Myers Murray has to go off the left peg with it, but dragged it just right and wide. It's still a 1-point game though for the City side.
Yeah, and I just didn't get the sense there in that play that they were actually going to score. I just think it's going to be, what have we got, about 5? There's going to be certainly about 5 minutes injury time. I'm not sure the Bears have too many scores in them left.
Roland Welton, I can see over there, is pleading his case to the sideline official over on that far side of the field. Obviously not happy with that decision, but it's something I will guess whoever will qualify for the county final, it's going to come up in the hearings committee next weekend or during the week. We'll keep a close eye on that. Roland Murray seems to have been taken over completely off the ball. Play continues on though. Jack Cahalan throwing his body on the line. There's a shoulder in there and Cahalan fouls the Bears man. And it's going to be a free out. Owen Finn walking up towards Owen Keane. And Finn now going on his bike, walking inside the 45-metre line. What can the Bears, against the wind, remember, in this second half, muster from here? Finn now again on the loop. Is he going to try and go for a shot? He's not. He's offloaded to Maguire. Takes a hefty shoulder. Maguire off the left peg. Just going left and wide. They've scuttered a lot of chances tonight, Brian.
Yeah, I think, look, he was unlucky there. Ian wouldn't be renowned for kicking balls off his left leg, to be fair. He's like a pinball battering through fellas. But I do think Castlehaven, we will see something from Brian. We will see something from Michael Hurley yet. This game is on a knife edge. But this primary possession, we'll go back to it again, is absolutely key.
Yeah, and Stephen Sherlock's gone back in corner now. I was questioning the value of having out in the wing because he looks out on his feet. I don't think he's going to get a score from 45 metres. Now he's back in there, so they have a threat in there again.
Well, that was a bit of a falcon off Ian Maguire's head. But it's worked out well for the Bears. They've worked it inside. It's a 3-on-2 situation for the Bears. Can they convert? But straight at Anthony Seymour. And there was a man lucky in the box on the far side. But now it's a chance for the Haven trying to level up this game once again. This has been entertaining stuff end to end, but that ball knocked out by the Bears, and it's going to be a line ball. But play is stopped because there's another substitution, lads, for the Haven.
To be fair to Anthony Seymour, he made a great save there, Patrick. I would have felt, I think we all would have felt that Killian Myers Murray should have passed the ball across the square. Yeah, it was going to be a tap in if the ball went across the square to the back post. But great save from Anthony Seymour.
Dara Cahalan's the man who is coming on. We're waiting to see who's the man going off. In fact, it's going off over on that far side, and that's Kieran O'Sullivan, the wing back. So Dara Cahalan into the fray. As we resume play now from Michael Hurley's line ball. 1-10 the Bars, 1-9 the Haven, and it's all to play for. Both sides reduced to 14 men. After that, off the ball scuffle. Can the Haven level up this game? Remember, they're playing with the wind in the second half. They've scored 1-1 in this second half compared to the Bars. 6 points. The Bars have turned it over again. Brian Hayes sending a ball inside. Looking for Jamie Burns. Burns recycles the ball back outside towards Owen Finn. There's a 50-50 ball there. The ball's ended up the floor and the Haven got a boot to it. Now a chance now once again for the Haven to work the ball out in towards the centre of the park. Damien Cahalan found in space inside the centre forward position. Played outside towards Michael Hurley. Just overcooked that slightly, but Hurley will do very well to keep that from going out. His brother's outside him. Michael lost a turnaround on a 360-degree loop. Still in possession, Hurley. He needs to recycle back outside towards Dara Cahalan. Dara Cahalan under pressure.
Yeah, the pressure from the
And
Bars there is
savage
immense. I
pressure
was
there
just
by
about
Ian
to say
Maguire.
if they got a point there, it was going to be hard earned. Brilliant
And here
play
come
for
the
the
Bars
Bars.
on the counter-attack. What can they get out? Well, I thought there was an advance mark, could have been claimed, but Killian Myers-Murray under pressure. And again the ball scuttled on the floor, hacked away by a Haven man, but again the Bars winning the breaking ball. This is where the purple patch is telling for the Bars. Here's Owen Finn going through the heart of the fence.
Brilliant
What
tackle.
a tackle by
Brilliant
Brian
tackle.
Hurley. Super tackle there by Brian Hurley. Could have been a certain score for the Bars. This phase of play has been ongoing for the last 3 or 4 minutes as we've started injury time all of a sudden.
Yeah, and if that had gone over for the Bars, they could have been out of sight a little bit. In fairness to Brian Hurley, super tackle, and here he now gets the chance to
4
do
minutes
it at
of
the other
injury
end.
time has been awarded by a Macroom official. Brian Hurley sends the ball over towards that far side. Is there a levelling score in the game? It is!
Now, to be fair, if you want to see what something means to somebody, Brian Hurley playing. He's after being stationed inside with Castlehaven the last 3 or 4 minutes. Sprinted all the way back the field. Owen Finn was going in. Near hand tackle, got the ball back off him. Got back up on his feet, and was the guy who gave the ball to Mark Collins for the hand pass score. Brilliant play. You'd have to admire it.
Well, it has been a long day on the Irish Examiner's streaming service. We started at 12 this afternoon, showing you the Co-op Superstore Senior A Hurling Championship final between Fort O'Neill's and Charleville. And what, a little over nearly 8 hours later, we're still on. And a chance of possible extra time to come. Maguire, who scored that last point, winning the ball defensively, and there's a chance now for the Haven as the Bars now look a bit
the
exposed
Bars don't have
defensively.
enough back here. Yeah, I think the Castlehaven could punish this, but that's
Super
brilliant
tackle by
tackling
Owen
again.
Murphy.
Brilliant,
What
brilliant
rate?
Yeah, it's super. Their tackling is ferocious actually, and they've been doing it now consistently for this whole second half.
I tell you, for a low-scoring game, this is one of the most entertaining games of football we've seen in a while. Here's Owen Murphy in possession, sending it inside. It was 50-50 for Brian Hayes, but Hayes was taken out of it.
I think this might be a bit too far out for Stephen. He's definitely tired. Even if this is in the first minute of the game to be a struggle, he'll probably kick it off the ground, I would imagine, Brian. Would you think?
Yeah, probably Derek. I think, it is quite a bit out, but I wouldn't be surprised at him. I've seen him do it before. But you'd have to hand it to both teams here, guys. They are
Looking
actually,
on the replay here.
there wasn't much in that, really, I don't think.
No.
You'd have to hand it to Castlehaven and the Bars. If you want to see honesty, honesty of effort, if you want to see absolute intensity and physicality, both teams just going for it. I think this is an absolute spectacle, not in terms of pure football, but in terms of desire, heart, determination.
And drama.
To be fair. Like this, we're 63 minutes into the game. We don't, you just can't tell if this is going to be a winning score or not, obviously. But I think this has given a lot of people a great hour's viewing.
Yeah, it's super game.
Absolutely
And,
brilliant.
Looking at Stephen Sherlock here, the ball's in his hand, so I'd say he's going to try kick this in the hand, and this is tough one.
It's Colin Maguire who is receiving attention over on that far side of the field. He's been up and down the field in the last couple of minutes, but did get that levelling score for the Haven in the 60th minute. What time now could be added on? Well, it was 4 minutes was awarded.
Yeah,
In fact, Maguire has been brandished a yellow card for that tackle, Brian.
to be fair, Patrick, the Bars have ensured that the win didn't matter in this second half, which is a massive compliment to them.
As we look at the rain just starting to team down. It's just swirling in the wind. It's not going straight. This is a difficult effort for Stephen Sherlock. 35 yards out. It's been caught by the wind up, and it's gone left and wide.
Off the ground.
Yeah.
Like, we were questioning whether he could take it off the ground. I think if he took it on the ground, he'd had a lot better chance of scoring that.
Yeah.
That was a very difficult kick to take out of your hand.
Too much wind there to affect that, yeah.
So, a chance now for the Haven. We'll be going deep into the 65th minute now because of that stoppage. Damien Cahalan offloading the ball up towards
They're going to get a chance to win it here, Patrick. I think, the ref seems to be letting it go, so they're going to get a chance to win it.
Walking the ball in towards the half-hour line. There's a long shot being taken inside here by the Haven.
Wide.
It goes right and wide. I thought for a second it was going to travel in.
I'm hoping that this goes extra time because I'd love another 20 minutes of watching this. It's absolutely enthralling
I tell
stuff.
you, Brian Cuthbert, I hope you have the kettle ready. Patrick O'Neill lands that short. As I say, we're going to hit the 5th minute to add on. Jamie Burns now in possession. And to be fair, no team deserves to lose this as that ball goes out over the end line. No team deserves to lose this in the 60 minutes.
No, I think the whistle is going. I have a feeling the whistle's going to come here. Bad slip there from the Bars to let that one go. But here we go. It's ticking on again. And Castlehaven might get one more chance to nick it.
Conor Cahalan now in possession. Are the Haven happy enough just to play out for extra time? Or do they want to go along as John Ryan has the whistle in his mouth? And under pressure there was Rory Maguire, but did well to get it away. Now towards Ronan Walsh. Oh my God, this is tetchy times indeed. Ball's knocked out, Jack Cahalan. And it's a Bars ball, or a Haven ball, says our silent official, I think is David Moran. It's a chance now for the Cork minor, Jack Cahalan. How much more is John Ryan going to add? Edge of the seat stuff as the Bars again have knocked it out. Now this is a possible opportunity from a score from the sideline.
Yeah,
And Brian Hurley could score this if he goes for it.
He's not looking yet, but he might. He might.
He's thinking about going for it. Brian Hurley from the outside of the boot in the 66th
That's actually gone over.
minute.
Oh my God!
Unbelievable!
Unbelievable! What a player! What a player! What a kick! They talk about Mark Fitzgerald. I know he had a win with him there, but he judged that to perfection. If that wins the game, you'd have to hand it to him. Fair play. What a kick!
Play continues on, and the Bars need a score quickly. But Mark Collins has won the breaking ball. Collins under pressure. Looking to try and offload that ball inside. Here come the Haven once again. Walking the ball inside towards Michael Hurley. Hurley just needs to put the ball over the bar to try and seal it again, but he hasn't. He's fumbled outside and the Bars applying pressure. We're deep, 6.5 minutes gone in injury time. Snapping on the body from Brian Hurley. This is carrying right and wide.
I'd say
how much more time is
he'll
on
blow it,
Mercury
Patrick.
official?
He'll probably blow it, I'd say. He's looking at his watch now.
Something's happened off the ball down there.
Yeah, the goalie put the ball down, and I think Michael came in and just kicked it away.
And again, the spot fires are not needed. We're at the end, or close to the end of this game.
Slow down the game
But
again.
I think it's quite easy that Michael Hurley picks up a yellow card here. Looks quite simple. But come back to that free from that sideline. What a sideline. And lads, it's not easy for our viewers to see at home, but the rain is literally coming across the face of the goal.
Yeah, I was saying it like at half time, interestingly enough, I said it might suit Brian Hurley outside and right type kicks in this type of weather, and he saved it at the end. Unbelievable point. I just feel sorry for the Bars here. I think it's a bit bad messing. I don't like that in the game, the way they took the goalkeeper out of it, and it's just burning up time. I hope the Bars get another opportunity to score, because that's just bad sportsmanship in my book.
7.5 minutes gone. The Bars need a score fairly quickly. There was a free, and there's something else happening off the ball here, so we need another free back in the 45-metre line. Michael Hurley got brandished a yellow card for that foul inside, but there's another speaking to here, and it's the Haven centre forward Brian Hurley.
Castlehaven are doing everything they can right now just to slow the game down.
Yeah, it'll be a minor miracle if Bars manage to get enough space and time to actually get a score. Not to mention if they do get the ball up and past the 45.
A yellow card for Brian Hurley. That free quickly taken. The Bars need to score quickly off this phase of play to go to extra time. Sam Ryan popping the ball inside in towards Owen Murphy.
Got to find the right man here now.
Back outside towards
Got to find
Sam
a Stephen
Ryan.
Sherlock.
Outside looking for Sherlock, looking to go in through the channels. Is there an opportunity to score? The Bars need a score. Here's
That's a free.
Adam
That's a
Ryan.
free.
Oh, they got it.
That's a
They got
free.
it. Oh, they got it.
Whoa!
It was a terrible free to give away because
So
as you
many
said a while
bodies
ago,
back
there
there.
was so many bodies there.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
they had to do was keep their hands down.
He wanted the free. He didn't even have enough time to get the ball into one hand to take that shot. He didn't have enough time, and he wanted the free.
It was an arm over the shoulder as we look at the replay. And now it's
That's brought in.
a straight in free.
I might get my wish here yet, Patrick.
It's a good chance. He thought about chance for a goal. Sherlock, he put us all on the edge of our seats, but no, with nearly 69 minutes gone in this Premier Senior Football Championship final, this surely goes over from Sherlock. It does.
Yeah.
And
I
that
can't wait for the
surely
20 minutes
sends us
here.
to extra
Yeah,
time.
we put on that kettle now. I think it's definitely going to extra time now.
And he is going to blow it up, John Ryan.
He's surely not playing on, is he? Who's that?
Oh my God. 70 minutes of enthralling football in Park Arena, and we are out of breath. Unbelievable.
Yeah,
Extraordinary stuff.
I think that was absolutely superb. You'd have to hats off and hands off to Tara, hats off to both teams. There was brilliant endeavour there, and that score from Brian Hurley, you'd pay anything to see something like that.
We get a glimpse of that in a second.
But to be fair, I thought time was up. Castlehaven did everything they could to make sure that the ball couldn't come down the field, and as we said, it was a bit of a silly foul at the end just to give a gilt-edged chance in front of the goal.
And I was glad Bars got that chance because the game has been played in such a good spirit. I just didn't like that. I think it was Michael Hurley. I just don't like that with that play acting and taking a guy out. It's just very cynical. I'm glad Bars got the chance. I'm glad they put it over the bar.
And the
because this game deserved it.
The key thing now is that both teams revert back to 15.
Yeah.
So back full on 15-15 again.
Yeah. One of the things I would have known with Castlehaven is that they have an awful lot of work done, and I said they have an awful lot of physical work done. I saw a lot of them during the lockdown out around UCC. They're training in pods, working really, really hard. I'm not quite sure. Maybe the Bars have worked as hard. There was nothing between their fitness there in that 60 minutes and that 70 minutes. But I do think Castlehaven have a lot of legs yet. I think the likes of Michael Hurley could come onto his own here in this extra time period. The Bars, to actually win the game in normal time, had to go to war.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you go to war and you don't get out the other side, it's very hard to gather around here again and say, all right, lads, we have to go to war again. So it's going to be difficult.
Let's have a look at that Brian Hurley sideline. Extraordinary stuff inside the 45-metre line. He thought about it, didn't think about it, and thought about it again. Like something like what Luke Connolly done across the park last week, finding out.
Well, we've seen,
Mark
it reminds me of the Morris Fitzkick Stadium years ago, and we've seen that played for years and years and years. That is just as good, if not more difficult, given the weather conditions.
Do you know, we watch, you could watch Sky Sports and all these things when you see professional athletes kicking pressure scores from, dead balls, and everybody marvelling at it. Here we have an amateur athlete, after playing for 70 minutes, he's on the sideline, his team need him to score. It's a miracle if it goes over, and he kicks it in full confidence that he's done this before. So I could see him down in Union Hall, because he's a man who just will kick ball all day long, trying that since he's been about 13 or 14, and to do it when it matters most says huge amounts about him. I thought that was a superb score, but I was like Derek. I was hugely impressed with Castlehaven when Colin Lyons was off in that period, where the way they played. They got away from that because they couldn't get their hands on the ball. In the second half, I was hugely impressed with the way the Bars battled and fought.
It's amazing you actually say that, because the Haven were playing against the wind in the first half, and the Bars were playing against the wind in the second half, and they threw the kitchen sink at us.
The wind didn't really matter to them in the second half, and the way the Bars play anyway, I don't think it really matters that they have a wind or they don't have a wind. All they want to do is punch holes at you, get runners inside you, and then pop the ball to the likes of Sherlock and Murray. Whereas Castlehaven have a bit more variety to their play. But you'd have to say now it is going to be difficult for the Bars, I think. All our lives playing against them, when there is war, when there is a battle, when there is fight in terms of, and I'm not talking about physical fight, I'm talking about those ping pong balls you're talking about, Derek, the ricochets.
Yeah.
They came
Pinball
out.
machine goal, they could have scored down below.
They came out with the majority of those balls in the second half. To go back and do it again is going to be difficult. So I'm I'm keenly interested to see, can they raise it again here for this?
Yeah,
the start
because
of the
Just remember that we've got 2 periods of 10 minutes of extra time. In the hurling final, the Glen lost the toss and the Rockies played with the wind in the opening half, scoring 2-4 to a point. How crucial now in a game of football is playing with the wind or against the wind in the opening 10.
I don't
do you
know
want
anymore.
to be chasing or do you want to be defending it?
I'd say nearly both teams, it suits them playing against the wind the way they're both playing. So I think, though, given the night it is, it's, as you say, in a extra time the way it goes, whoever seems to get the first 2 or 3 points tend to see it out.
Yeah.
So I would definitely play with the wind. 100%
Yeah.
I would do that and try get those 2 or 3 scores, because you've the likes of Stephen Sherlock, he just looks tired to me. He's done so much work. You've the likes of Michael Shields, who was one of the Bar's best players. He's gone off tired. Ian Maguire seemed to be loving the physical exchanges there, but he's tired as well.
Let's
So save the wind.
side just for a second, because Mark Collins has lost the toss there and Ian Maguire has elected to play against the wind.
Even though at the start of the game I said that I'd play against the wind, I would in normal time.
Yeah.
But like Derek, in extra time, I always think if somebody did some research on it, they'd see the team that gets ahead, it's very hard to chase that down.
Definitely.
Bodies are tired. You could defend a lead much more easy than chase in extra time. I think that's a bit of a mistake. I'd go after trying to get ahead.
I said they want the battle in the second half and the Bars got it, but I think that they might like Payne a little bit too much for my liking here, because I think they're giving themselves a huge mountain to climb playing against that wind.
One word apiece. Call it.
I'd have a feeling that Michael and Brian Hurley could do something here in this period of extra time.
Yeah,
that the Bars won't be able to respond
I'd
to.
go with the Haven too. I just think they're a little bit more economical with these tired legs. I think that will count.
This is a commentator's nightmare now, as there's substitutions coming in left, right and centre. Ethan Toomey now is in the field for the Bars. Inside. Looking around, scanning around the field, just to see who else is in or out. We'll keep an eye on it.
Is Owen McGreevy there? I don't see Owen McGreevy. Stephen Sherlock corner forward there, right? I think Owen McGreevy's gone.
Owen McGreevy's on the suspension anyway, so...
This extra
he's
time
gone,
period gets underway. And it's the Haven who do get the opening spell. Remember, the Bars, the Castlehaven lost the toss there, and the Bars elected, Ian Maguire electing to go against the wind in this opening half. Let's see if that's going to pay off. Owen Keane now in possession, back out towards Owen Murphy, who made that surging run for the levelling score in that late in the second half. Adam Lyne in towards Owen Murphy now once again. Looking to try and switch the play. Of course, now you have to start thinking about the penalty. You start bringing back in players, the likes of Michael Shields for the Bars. Here's another man, Glenn O'Connor, plays wing back for the Hurlers, sister of Jem O'Connor, the Cork Camogie star. Owen Keane. Back outside towards Owen Finn, walking in towards the corner, towards Killian Myers Murray. Got a boot to it, but was beaten for pace there by the Haven man. And it's quickly taken, sent up in towards the centre of the park. And here now where the Haven are dangerous. Conor Cahalan walking back inside. Cahalan going for a big punt of a score, but this ball goes right and wide. Of course, we must also remember all cards are now wiped. Red, yellow and black cards are all wiped from normal times. So we're back now to a new game without the two.
Yeah, I think that was a
Players
bit
before
ambitious there. I think Damien was coming through. They could have held on to that a bit more. I think a little bit ambitious there from Conor.
Jamie Burns now played just inside the 65, walking to Owen Finn. First score now here is going to be crucial. Brian Hayes looking to try and make an effect on that. Reverts back out towards Owen Keane. Back inside towards Owen Murphy. Here comes Ethan Toomey. Always a danger, was a superstar for the Bars minor hurling team when the Premier 1 minor championship a couple of weeks ago, but it was Adam Lyne who conceded that free in the Haven over another opportunity. This has been end-to-end stuff. The second opportunity of the Haven on the attack, and here's Jack Cahalan walking his way in towards the 45-metre line. Cahalan looking for options and just panicked at the crucial moment And now the Bears.
Yeah, I
This
think
has been
Conor
end to
is
end, 2.5
he's a
minutes.
live wire. He's a great footballer from what I've seen tonight. But I just in the crucial in this, the heat of this game, he's just making a few bad decisions at the wrong time.
The Bears now looking to try and get back out again. Sam Ryan out towards Olin Murphy. In fact, it was Ethan Toomey in the middle of the field. Ian Maguire out towards Owen Keane and Maguire, the talisman. Everything revolves around the Bears captain. Owen Keane working it inside in towards Jamie Burns. Pop towards Ethan Toomey. But again, it's going to keep in. It actually doesn't go out because the wind stops it from going out of play. But doing very well over there was the Haven defender. And there was a punch thrown inside there, I'm afraid. Was seen off the ball. I did see it actually happening. And that was Olin Murphy, I believe, did throw a punch. No, it was at a distance. But there was a hand thrown to the face of the Bears defender. And this could be a costly error. All cards wiped. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah.
So it's a new game. So it's a question of whether, in fact, both players are now being spoken to, both Cathal Maguire and Olin Murphy. And the question now is, what colours or colour is the card? 2 yellow cards. So Cathal Maguire and Olin Murphy getting 2 yellow cards. We just might catch this off the side. Maguire just ended up the floor. And there was a hand thrown there by Murphy twice, as we've seen in the replay.
Yeah.
But
and,
as you come back to live pictures, this ball is going to be hopped in. And Conor Cahalan, or Damien Cahalan it is, winning that hot ball. Ball's worked up towards Cathal Maguire. Inside towards Rory Maguire. Halfway over on that far side of the field. Maguire under pressure, being held there by Stephen Sherlock. It's a free in for the Haven, but he elects to go backwards with that one. Time now is of the essence. We're already 5 minutes gone in the opening 10-minute period of extra time. Here's Mark Collins working inside towards David Welton. Welton working up through the channels. Damien Cahalan with a long hand pass ball in towards Brian Hurley off the left peg. Hurley looking for the opening score, but again, that wind just carries it right and
Yeah,
wide.
there's been chances now for both sides. I think Ethan Toomey, who's come in for the Bears, has had 2 chances. He looks a bit he's struggling to get to the pace of it. Surprised there where Brian thought he would have scored it. He had time. I don't know what's going to happen here, to be honest.
What is a substitution is the substitution of Shane Nolan coming in for Michael Hurley. So
Michael's carrying a leg there, but it looks of things going off, Patrick. But Shane Nolan's a very good substitute to bring on.
kick out mark claimed in there by Jamie Walsh. Man under pressure inside. Sideline official says no. Didn't go out of play. Jamie Walsh under pressure. Balls between the legs. Now it's a free, in fact, that John Ryan is awarding right in front of us.
Ian Maguire too looks to be carrying a bit of a dead leg. He didn't want to know about that kick out there, which I thought was a bit surprising, and he seems to be labouring getting back. So I think Barrs will be in big trouble if he's not at full, and you can see he's definitely pulling a leg there.
Well, this is what really the Bears didn't really want to be going to extra time after that game on Wednesday night, as Brian Hurley puts on those afterburners once again, pops the ball inside. It's recycled outside by Jack Cahalan, outside to Shane Nolan. But Nolan's shot was just scuffled to the left-hand side and wide.
Both teams look very, very tired and laboured at the moment. I think key players that probably gave so much in the first 70 minutes that they've gone quiet for a while. I expect that they might do something yet, though, being the characters that they are. But the game is certainly different, very much different than what we finished in the second period of the second half.
Ian is definitely struggling there, and he does not want to be contesting a kick out.
There was no raucous atmosphere to that kick out, but that kick out won by Jamie Walsh. Played inside there by Dara Cahalan, inside to Jack Cahalan, and the youngest of the Cahalan triplet brothers has won a free, and this could be the opening score of this extra time period.
Yeah, cheap enough from Conor Dennehy, I think, gave away that free at this point in the game. That's what a team wants, is a free, because it's so tight at the moment. Like there's no one guaranteed to knock a ball over the bar, and it's just a cheap free. I think. Let's see it here now. Yeah, he was going nowhere. He was going to run into a yellow wall there. Silly free.
Fouled by Conor Dennehy. And it's a chance now for Brian Hurley to get the opening score after nearly 8 minutes in this first period of extra time. And Brian Hurley converts that free. In the 78th minute, we've waited for the opening score of extra time, Brian.
Yeah, again, primary possession. I know I harp on about it, but the Bars have been very good tonight on the kick out. But on that kick out there that came out, Castlehaven won it uncontested. 2 passes and Jack Allan gets fouled. That's how simple the game is. You have to win primary possession. You can only play off that.
This ball is hanging really badly from a Bars point of view because they haven't have won it. It's popped out, but Ian Maguire has won that. Looking back in towards the centre park towards Owen Keane. There was a man taken out off the ball. Or sorry, on the tackle I should say. That is Dara Cahalane. It's the man who's going to be spoken to. Probably a late tackle and a yellow card to go with it. John Ryan has to do the notings in the book. And Dara Cahalane has been told to await while he's been given the instruction. But it's a free out for the Bars one way or the other. Nearly 9 minutes gone and only 1 point. In fact, there's a black card.
Jeez.
Wow.
That gives the Bars a huge opportunity. They've only conceded a point playing against the Gale. Now they have an extra man for basically the rest of the game.
Yeah.
But maybe we might be able to get that at half time if we can. Sam Ryan. The Haven now going to be playing possibly the rest of this extra time with 14 men. And a free there for Sam Ryan from the 45-metre line. Well, that is a big, big decision. And to be honest with you, lads, I didn't see it coming.
I actually couldn't see it. There's a pole in my way here. I couldn't see exactly what happened.
Yeah, I think he jumped into it. And I don't know. I think the referee fell for it, to be honest. I would like to see it again, but
Sherlock fell to the floor there. Brian Hurley down there defensively, giving his defence a helping hand, and Mark Collins got a boot to it. As the Haven now looking to try and work it out through David Welton. Or through, in fact, Colin Maguire's 1 minute has been awarded by our official. Jack Cahalane now in possession. Looking to try and get a second score. Remember, the Haven down to 14 men. Remember, just moments ago, Dara Cahalane sent to the bin. And just overcooked that ball. It's a chance now for the Bars to break out of defence again. Owen Finn is getting on a lot of possession in this extra time. Ian Maguire doesn't look a bit laboured indeed, but that's the intensity these players, the Bars players have been playing this week. That mark not taken over there by Ethan Toomey. Done well though to regather composure, and the Bars just slow things back down again. They know they have another 7 or 8 minutes to play against 14 men. Olin Murphy now sending it over towards that far right wing. The advance mark wasn't given by our official, but play continues on. Sent into the corner over there by Alan O'Connor. Recycles the ball outside to Brian Hayes. Hayes walking along the 13-metre line. Under pressure. Hayes with a snapshot around the body, but going across the face of goal.
Yeah, I have to say I've been very impressed with Brian Hayes all night. I think he's been extremely honest in his play. He's very direct. I think he's caused Castlehaven problems, and I'm not quite sure what's going on here. But I think
something has happened. There's a blood substitution here,
Brian,
I think, because the player was running away, Ronan Walsh. I think he knew he had to head off, and the blood sub is going to be.
I was even going to suggest there, Brian, that I would even put Brian back midfield, because with Ian struggling there, he's definitely struggling with a knock. I think the Bars' primary possession, he's a big young fella.
Absolutely.
I would put him back midfield.
Absolutely. I think he's been in the game consistently from the very start. And I think he seems to have plenty of pep about him. And I'd say he'd make a big difference to the Bars. I think it'd be a very good move.
Yeah.
I think the Bars would be, knowing them, they'd be very slow to take Ian Maguire off.
Maybe not take him off,
Yeah.
but he's certainly I don't know how effective he can be now. He's got a dead leg or a bad cramp or something.
Yeah, I totally agree with you in terms of if he was somebody else and was immobile as he seems to be there, I think he'd probably be coming off. But I think he's their go-to guy. He's their leader.
Yeah.
I don't see them I'd nearly say he'd nearly refuse to come off the field. He's that type of guy.
Just that blood substitution for the record was Tomás O'Leary coming on instead of Ronan Walsh. Whether he'll stay on now because of the half time, but the Bars with that point lead.
No.
The Haven with the point lead, sorry. They now need to try and defend this against the wind and down to 14 men for the next kind of first 7 minutes of the half.
Yeah, I think Bars, to be fair, I don't think they looked like scoring there. Other than that, Brian Hayes there, I think Ethan Toomey had a few shots, but they were pop shots.
Sherlock has been bottled up.
He's been bottled up. I think he's exhausted. They don't look like they're going to score. Definitely not there. Now, maybe with the wind, they're going to try something different. They didn't seem to play with the wind or play well with the wind when they had it. So, again, I would say a very, very slight advantage to Castlehaven.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think the Bars are going to rely on punching holes again and getting fouls. That's the only way I can see them scoring. I don't see them opening up the Castlehaven defence, even though that they have man extra. I think the Bars will actually sit their extra man back, which I possibly wouldn't do myself. I'd go after this game and I'd push this extra man maybe into the middle third here, where you'd actually have overload and the Bars could play their game from there. I still think that Castlehaven have craft in Brian. Mark Collins has been quiet the last 15-20 minutes. I think you'll see something from him yet. And if Castlehaven can repeat anything like they did for that 12-minute period where they got the 6 points in a row, 2 points here, 2 points of a lead here is a massive lead in 10 minutes. So at the moment, Castlehaven the lead. The Bars have to score 2 points to get ahead. And I know the Gale is very, very strong. But, they didn't look like scoring, as Derek said. They didn't look like scoring anything in that first period of extra time.
And I think Castlehaven only need 1 or 2 frees here. Yeah. And, Mark Collins won't miss, Brian Hurley won't miss. Yeah. Stephen Sherlock is kind of jadey, so I'd have my question whether he's going to be as dependable as those two on the other side.
It's been an extraordinary afternoon of Gaelic games. I'm just wondering, because out in the field while the camera was switched in here, John Ryan was spoken to by our umpire and our 2 sideline officials, and I'm just wondering what is happening here. Something happened off the ball, and John Ryan is looking for someone over there to speak to.
I don't see Brian Hurley coming back in here. I think the referee is speaking to Brian Hurley. I can see by the green boots.
It is Brian Hurley.
Yeah. I think he could be in a spot of bother here.
Brian Hurley is not coming on. Brian Hurley could be carrying a knock by the looks of it. Brian Hurley will not be returning for this second period of extra time by the looks of it, lads.
Yeah, but they still have 14 men.
22. Kevin O'Donovan is coming in. That's a big loss.
The only thing I can think of, Patrick, is the referee says that he has a concussion of some sort, but that's not the referee's call.
No.
I'm not sure what that's about.
He looks fine and fit there over on that far side. Obviously there is an issue. In fact, there is some strapping over there, in fact, and they're going to look to try and get some physios. This ball is thrown in. We're just keeping half an eye on Brian Hurley, who is going to be receiving some physio over on that far side. All the while, though, the Bars now in possession. Glenn O'Connor passing into Ethan Toomey. The Bars with the wind in this second half, and as the rain starts to sheet down here in Park Urin under the floodlights on Sunday night football. Adam Lyne with a Hail Mary of a shot going to the left and wide. Brian Hurley is getting some attention off the field over.
Yeah, it's very difficult to understand how the referee actually... They still have 14 as far as I can see.
Well, the nominated free player is Ola Murphy's at the moment in the centre of the park. This kick out from Seymour under the pressure of whistles and pressure of the Bars fans. That kick out mark claimed inside there by Ian Maguire. He's won an advantage as well, but play continues on. Played inside towards Owen Finn by the way. Keelan Myers-Murray off the left peg.
No, it's dropping.
Landing short, right and wide.
They've had about 5 chances now. I say Ethan Toomey has 2. Adam Lynn had 1. Keelan Myers-Murray there. So they're not taking them. I'm not sure how many more chances they'll get.
I tell you, the temperature is quite cold, but the heat on the pitch is fairly fever pitch. As this Kick out being taken by Seymour over towards the centre of the park. And again, Maguire nearly got in there, but he was fouled in the process of doing so. Might have picked up an injury of cramp in the process.
Stephen Sherlock might score this one.
Yeah, outside the right again. But I must say I'm very impressed with Ian Maguire's work ethic there. In fairness, since the second half started in normal time, he's been immense. He seems to just relish the tight battle of it, and he seems to be carrying. You can see now he's after cramping up, so I think that's what's been around him all along. But he's giving it his all there, and he's you can tell he's the heartbeat of the Bars team.
Adam Lyne, that is, giving Maguire a helping hand as Maguire limps away from the scene of the crime. Chance for Sherlock to level up this game. What a score from Stephen Sherlock!
You call it, Derek, outside of the right. It's the only way to kick those ones. Use the wind. Absolutely agree with you regarding Ian Maguire. He actually is not more. He's even more than the heartbeat of this team. He's the heartbeat of football in the Bars, and he is their absolute leader. And he's showing it here now in the last 5 minutes.
There's that kick out from Seymour, and that is just going to be kept in from going out of play over there with Johnny O'Regan. Advantage going to the Haven as we are level once again. And it's for the first time in this extra time, but the ball's been turned over, and Ethan Toomey sends that ball into the corner. Is there a chance for a leading Bar score? Stephen Sherlock snap around the body off the left peg, but this trails left and wide.
That shot was never on, really. Like, he should have just held possession and worked the ball back in towards the centre of the field. The Bars are again in ascendancy. It comes down to the kick out again. I still don't understand why the Bars are actually operating as own press on this. They should be pushing right up into Castlehaven and making Andy Seymour even under more pressure than what he is right now.
Brian Hurley is warming up once again over on that far side of the field as the rain, as you could see now on their picture screen, is really sheeting down here in Park You're In. A lucky mark to Conor Cahalan just fell into his chest after the gale of wind just held up the ball. And can the Haven now try and get a score? Here's the Haven minor, Jack Cahalan, as Conor now is limping over on that far side of the field. Jack Cahalan under pressure. And the Haven regaining composure through Jamie Walsh. Ball's worked inside. Across the face of the 45-metre line. Is there a chance of a score here? It looks like James Davis is on the field, but the ball's been turned over. And again now the Bars looking to try and work their way out as bodies now are starting to fatigue quite immensely. Epic drama once again here on the live Irish Examiner live stream as that ball is sent in by Ethan Toomey. Or sorry, in fact it was Owen Finn. It was turned over, and a chance now for Kevin O'Donovan to work out. Damien Cahalan receiving a heavy shoulder. Played inside to Kevin O'Donovan.
At this stage now, I think it's more Castlehaven just don't look like they're going to score because they're just looking to pass. There just doesn't seem to be someone taking it and going for it themselves, and too many passes here playing into the Bars' hands. Bars look completely in control. They're playing with confidence, and I think they might get a point there themselves.
I think one of the issues also maybe as the game has gone on, Castlehaven have had to use their bench more and more, and I think they probably have younger players than what the Bars have, and those lads are finding it a small but difficult.
That's the free.
And a free awarded.
Free. The Castlehaven have to use, as I say, they were obviously use their bench, and coming in as a 17 or an 18 or a 19-year-old into this is ferocious. So I think there's a couple of mistakes that have been copped up.
I just wanted to show you this replay, lads, because I think actually the Barsman blindsided John Ryan as the ball came across, and in fact the Haven defender was leaning across, so it is a free, and it's appointed on the de-exclusion, just outside the de-exclusion zone. Damien Cahalan walking outside Stephen Sherlock. It's a chance now for the Bars to take the lead and take a stack their defence if this is converted. But by all means, folks, this is no easy free.
No, the wind is going to catch this now because he's kicking it right across the wrong way, but I'm sure he's backing himself. But
he needs to aim for the left hand upright here. Sherlock, 35 yards out, does aim for it and does convert.
Yeah, in the first round game against Ballincollig, Ola Murphy was taken off after about 39 minutes. He's actually had a very, very good game tonight from centre back with the Bars as well. He was the guy who was fouled there, I think.
He was,
that.
He was.
He just seems to be a kind of perpetual motion, driving forward at the opportune times and crucial tackles at the same time.
Seymour with the kick out. And again, it's the Bars have won the breaking ball. They lead by a point, and they're in the ascendancy. Adam Lyne in possession, walking over towards that far side of the field. Lyne just biding his time, looking for Stephen Sherlock. Playing it into the corner, but they haven't turned it over. This black card period is nearly up as they win a free in the right corner back position. They're trying to work it out. Tomas O'Leary still in play. Working it out towards the Haven, trying to work it out, but they've turned it over. And the Bars now with another chance.
Brian Hayes again, yeah.
Brian Hayes again.
Brian Hayes working inside towards Colm Keane. Offloads out towards Killian Myers-Murray. Is that turning in enough? No is the answer. As we look over towards that far sideline, Brian Hurley's top is back on again. He's not coming back in. How much more in that sin bin period? Are we back 15 and 15, I wonder?
I just can't see Castlehaven getting a point. I just think the Bars just look so comfortable when Castlehaven have the ball. They're getting back. Owen Murphy's back now. They just seem to be extremely comfortable defending Castlehaven here.
We are back on 15 and 15 by the looks of it.
Not for long, I'd say. Here comes another black card. Ian Maguire.
Maguire is tired and jaded. He's put it all out in the pitch. Again, pleading his case with the judge. Maguire looks shocked and astonished. It's a black card for Maguire. And he now is ending up off the field. And he can't walk off the field, so he has to go to the Bar sideline.
He couldn't help but give a black card there. There was no question whatsoever.
Mark Collins was the man fouled on that occasion. Maguire just can barely walk off the field. But again, just to remind you, the Haven haven't played a game in 4 weeks. The Bars only had a game 4 days ago against Newcestown, their quarter final. But it is the Haven who are down to 1 point. But the Bars are at that man deficit. Dave Welton in possession now, out towards Rory Maguire. As the Haven now seek a levelling score as we enter the final minute of normal time of the regulation 10. That ball's walked over towards the corner. Looks like Jack Cahalan. He's got an advantage. Cahalan not accrued, and it's a chance for the Haven to level this game. And what has been an epic game here so far.
Will we see freeze, lads?
Yeah, I think it's going to be. Is there another extra time after this?
Is there 5 minutes? I'm not sure. Is there freeze?
I'm sure Mark Collins will knock this over. You know.
I'm sure we're going to find out any moment.
I think 5 minutes.
But before all that, before we even think that far, Mark Collins with a chance to level up as we close out the 10th minute of the second period of extra time, and Collins converts the score.
You'll have to hand it to Castlehaven as well, lads. They really haven't had a shot in anger in the second half or in the first half of it, really. And they did very well to orchestrate that one.
I didn't catch what the injury time was, but there is some period of it. Who is going to win possession here? And it's a free against the Bars. Ethan Toomey for overcarrying the ball. Quickly taken by the Haven. Remember, the Haven have that man advantage. Jack Cahalan under pressure inside there. There was a heavy hit on the Bars, man. But the Bars have got possession, crucially.
That was a huge tackle there from Sam Ryan. Huge one, because the Castlehaven were in, and they were through. Big tackle.
And if this ends in a draw, we go to penalties. So it's all to play for. Brian Hayes in possession. We have at least 1 minute. We possibly have 2 of extra time. That Burko boiler is on the overboil now. Ethan Toomey over in front of the Castlehaven dugout. Can they try and work the score? The Bars playing with 14 men after their captain was sent to the bin. Where are the Bars going? Sam Ryan looking to try and take on a tackle. Does so. As that ball's walked into the corner. It's one inside. He just kept it off the ground is the adjudication. Played it outside, out towards.
He's going to blow it.
He's going to blow it.
They're looking for the score. Ethan Toomey looking to try and take a shot. Owen Finn.
They might as well have a pop shot at this
1
stage.
minute 45 gone on the clock. A chance here for a chance of a score. But Brian Hayes sends it right and wide. Players, official, management, supporters, commentators, media all out on their feet. This has been on the edge stuff for what, nearly 97, 98 minutes of epic football.
This has just been brilliant, Patrick. It is absolutely enthralling. Hearts in your mouth kind of stuff. Both teams giving it all they have. Absolutely everything. That was a very difficult chance for Brian Hayes to convert.
And that is where this ends, and we go to penalties.
Whoa.
The first ever adult competition in football in Cork going to penalties.
I'd say the Bars will be a bit disappointed there over the course of that extra time. I don't have a count, but certainly I'm going to guess say they had about 7 or 8 chances to Castlehaven's 1 or 2.
Yeah, I think again you go back to being extremely economical.
Yeah.
Castlehaven
Yeah.
get down the field 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
At the very least, they get shots in those 3
Yeah.
or 4 times. They don't waste the ball. The Bars had all the possession there again. You couldn't question their effort or attitude or fortitude or mental strength. It was just taking the right option at the right time. I think Adam Lyne had a chance there. Remember, he kicked a wild shot. Stephen Sherlock had a chance. He took another
Left
wild
leg,
shot.
yeah.
It's moving the ball into the scoring zone and just having that composure. That's what the Bars needed. But look,
We'll just have a look at the 2 crucial scores in the final moments of this game. This was the score from Stephen Sherlock in the 77th minute, which put the Bars in the lead, 113 to 112. And then only moments later, then Mark Collins getting a free down inside the 21-metre line. Here it is. And in fact, it's not this one. It's one that's late. It was later in the half, in around the 78th or 79th minute. We'll gather that in a second. But unbelievable stuff. Only last weekend, Éire Óg were defeated by SARS, or defeated SARS in hurling on penalties. The Beara Junior B football semi-final went to penalties, but this is the first competition under the auspices of the Cork County Board going to penalties. There's a lot of things now, as John Ryan is discussing out in the middle of the field with David Murnan, his fellow senior football official, of the things that need to go on. Obviously, he's outlining, I think what he's outlining there is that and which has been outlined, that keepers must stay on their line. There's 5 penalties to both sides, and it can be any of one of the 5 players that finish that game.
Okay. As exciting as it is, I think it's going to be a sucker blow for whoever loses it, because it's going to come down probably to 1 or 2 individuals, and it's going to be an awful
So the question
burden
actually
to carry
is,
through the winter.
if I'm just trying to think of the rule off the top of my head, but if I'm right in saying that, Brian Hurley finished the game off the field.
Right.
I'm not 100% on that, but
yeah, you can't pick somebody who hasn't completed the last portion.
who has finished the game.
So only penalty takers allowed, as far as I'm aware, are people who finished the game. So if Brian Hurley didn't finish the game, he can't be penciled in here to take a penalty. This actually feels very, very strange. We're here at a Gaelic football match, and managers down here, it's like watching something in the Champions League, deciding on who the penalty takers are going to be.
This is what the Champions League format was all about, wasn't it? What entertainment we've had since the 25th of July.
You'd have to say we've had massive entertainment since the 25th of July.
I'm going to give you
But
more
I
entertainment, because I'm going to have to get a text in here in the English Premier League just to throw the ball in.
Don't tell me Liverpool are losing.
7-2.
Winning.
Losing 7-2.
Jeez.
Oh my God.
Level 5, yeah.
You must nominate 5 players. So we have got that through. So 5 players to be nominated from both sides is the ruling. So now, let's just watch out in the field as we turn our attentions to out on the field. John is going to explain the rules. Ian Maguire, I think, and Brian Hurley cannot take penalties because they have ended off the field.
Well, Ian Maguire can't walk in here, so I doubt he could take a penalty.
I don't
And
think
just breaking news as well. NEFID have recommended the whole country to move to level 5 restrictions.
Yeah.
So that's breaking news as well.
They might, if that
There's no
occurs,
final,
see,
so.
There'll be no county final.
tell them don't bother taking the penalties here, guys,
Oh
because
my God.
I know
my God.
it's not a matter to joke about, but
Level
it's
5 starting tomorrow.
Well,
I don't know. There's a letter gone to, I think.
I'm sure Micheál Martin is watching in from Dublin to see who the Nemo Rangers will be facing next weekend. But whatever happens, let's hope there is a county final next week, because after the drama and entertainment we've had since 6:30 this evening, as we look out to see who the 5 players nominated on both sides are, well, out there, I see Stephen Sherlock, Brian Hayes, Colm Keane, Killian Myers-Murray and Owen Murphy. And on the bar side, I see Jack Cahalan out there. Shane Nolan, that is, wearing number 20. As the toss is just about to be made by John Ryan. And this is crucial now. Ian Maguire has lost Ian Maguire has won the toss, I think. So, no, Ian Maguire's lost the toss. And it looks like we're going to be in the Blackrock end by the looks of it. Now, my understanding of the rules is that you nominate 5 players, but if it goes to sudden death, any player thereafter that has taken one of the 5 can take one again. But this now is unprecedented times in the Cork County Board Football Championship and unprecedented times in the Irish Examiner live stream. Just not 100% know who is first to go forward. But breaking news all over the shop. Aston Villa down 7-2. Neffit recommending go to level 5, and we're in penalties in extra time. Let's hope the government push back that Neffit recommendation, boys.
Yeah, looks like we may not get our final next week, which would be a shame. But don't tell these players anything yet. Anyway.
Well, I'm not even sure if the 11-yard mark is there, down there. It is. And the first man to take the penalty for the Bars is Stephen Sherlock, facing Anthony Seymour. We're going to have to open up a new page in the copybook just to take these down. Seymour with the first penalty for the Bars. Seymour against Sherlock, I should say, and saved! Sherlock misses. It's a super save inside there by Anthony Seymour.
You'd have to say advantage Castlehaven, and any of the soccer stuff we'd ever watch. If you miss your first penalty, you're obviously playing catch up. But you know, this is a Gaelic football match. These guys have never gone through something like this before. I don't envisage that all 5 players are going to score their penalty. I'd be amazed if they do.
If he just walked past, I just noticed the size of Anthony Seymour, which is going to be a huge
He's very,
advantage.
very tall,
He's a
yeah.
huge man, so
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a huge
Castlehaven
advantage.
captain Mark Collins with the first penalty for the Haven. Collins, and converts it. And the Haven are 1 up after round 1.
It's a very long walk from the halfway line up to the 11-yard line to actually take a penalty. And
We've got questions in from our fans. Would the two of you either have taken a penalty in this situation?
I don't think I would have been on this long.
And I wouldn't have been allowed to take one, no. I would have wanted that, but I wouldn't have been
at least
allowed.
you're honest in a way. What drama here on the Irish Examiner live stream. Undoubtedly we're on overtime as well, I think. Here's Colm Keane for the Bars' second penalty as everybody is on their feet here in Park Rin. Keane for the Bars, Seymour for the Haven. Where's this going? Another save for the Haven! And Seymour pulls out another super save.
Anthony Seymour's, to be fair, he's waiting an awful long time to be the number 1 goalie in Castlehaven. Paddy Hurley has kept him out of that position for about the last 10 years. But he's been superb here.
Chance here for the Haven to take the lead. It's a save inside there. Save from Shane Nolan by Patrick O'Neill. And it's 2-1. Oh, sorry, it's 1-0 to the Haven.
Again, a very good save. You'd have to, you know, he was gone down and his hand just flew up to push the ball out. But it's huge pressure here. You know, these long walks up and, you know, your whole county championship final appearance, depending on 5 guys and a goalkeeper, obviously.
It does seem harsh, doesn't it?
It is very difficult. It is very difficult.
But there's no doubt that the Nemo man between the two of us is smiling. Bars, round 3 in penalties. First up are the Bars. Keelan Myers-Murray against Seymour. Murray buries it in the bottom corner.
Yeah, whatever happens in a normal game, you know, a mistake can happen in a split second. But if you're walking up there and you're missing your penalty, it's going to be that'll stay with you for the winter.
Yeah, like guys who are on millions of euro or millions of pounds, when they miss penalties, like, you know, they seem to get over quick enough because they have another €1,000,000 coming in the bank next week. This is your club. This is where you're from. You're carrying the weight of your club on your shoulders.
Well, you say about the weight of your club. Here's Damien Cahalan taking a penalty, facing the Bars in a penalty shootout in the semi-final.
He'll score.
Oh, down the middle. 2-1 to the Haven. Well, what drama. And we have possibly 4 penalties left in this shootout of the regulatory 5 for both sides. Here's Owen Murphy, the centre-back. Murphy takes a shimmy and buries it in the top corner. Excellent penalty.
That was a beauty, to be fair. No keeper in the country. 2 keepers wouldn't have saved that one.
Even Ronaldo wouldn't have done the shimmy in the top right corner.
I knew by the wearing of the white boots as a centre-back, there must be something about him.
Look at this.
He's played soccer before.
That was a bullet.
Wow. 4th round of penalties for the Haven, and it's the Haven minor Jack Cahalan who starred in that victory in the minor semi-final replay of the week. And it's a save. It's a save, and we're level going into the final round of penalties.
Bars have a bit of impetus now. They really do. Score this and like it's ultimate pressure on the final kick then.
Taking this one is going to be the Bars centre forward, Brian Hayes. And this now is crucial territory. Technically, we're now in sudden death. Brian Hayes now facing Anthony Seymour. Seymour after pulling off 2 superb saves already. Crucial times, crucial measures. Whoa. Hayes just gets it into the corner.
Anthony Seymour was very unlucky there.
He had his fingers on
fair to him. Oh, this is savage pressure now, to be fair. Absolute savage pressure. Who's taking this one, guys?
Let's have a look at the replay first.
I'd say it's Jamie
Seymour
Walsh.
did get a hand in it.
Is that Jamie Walsh?
Ronan Walsh. Full back.
No, it's not. It is Rory Maguire, lads.
Rory Maguire.
So this now to take us indefinitely to an official sudden death where rules slightly change. But let's deal with this first. To stay in the competition, Maguire. Oh, Cooley slotted by Maguire. No, rules change. Any player of the 5 can now take a sudden death penalty. As David Moran and John Ryan, the most 2 senior officials in Cork football, come out to explain the rules. That is now the rule. It is now straight sudden death, any player in any order you wish.
From the first 5?
From the 5 that have now just selected.
Okay. Yeah.
So, sudden death it is going forward from here. And we keep on moving.
Keelan Myers-Murray was very quick to get up from the line here. I think he wants to take this big time.
Well, it is Keelan Myers-Murray in the first round of sudden death. 6th round of penalties here in a drama-packed Parky Rin. Murray against Seymour. Off the crossbar! And that now opens the opportunity up. And stepping up for the Haven. Is it Mark Collins?
No.
I think it is. It's the captain of the Haven, Mark Collins, going to be stepping up to this one. He buried that ball off the crossbar, going for power rather than placement. And it's a chance now. In the 6th round of penalties, the first sudden death playoff round. A chance from Mark Collins against Patrick O'Neill. Remember, Collins scored his first penalty. Collins sends the Haven into the final, and they face Nemo next Sunday afternoon. Look at the jubilatory scenes. Unbelievable. Holy Moses.
Yeah, well done, Castlehaven. There was times tonight they looked to be out of the game. They were so economical, they just stayed in the game. Fair play to Anthony Seymour for those two crucial saves he did at the start. Patrick O'Brien the same, Patrick O'Neill the same, great saves as well. It just seems to me just to be terribly cruel to finish a county championship campaign in a sudden death penalty shootout. But that just shows how close both clubs were tonight. There was nothing between them. Two very different ways of playing the game. Two different style players in terms of the team makeups. But Castlehaven advanced to face Nemo.
Just to give you bad news now as well, Villa have been beaten Liverpool 7-2. So, what an extraordinary day. What an extraordinary weekend of sport. Look what the time is, 9:10. We're still here on this extraordinary day. But what a game.
Yeah,
of
it was
football.
a super...
Even though there wasn't scores there was a couple of great scores in the game. But the game was just so up and down all night long. We played nearly over 90 minutes of football.
It was. I think the game was more about, I wouldn't say tactical, but the defensive and the hits that were going on and the tackles were ferocious. I think it seemed the game itself, because all the attention was on the penalties, which is a shame, because it was a super game of football. And as I was saying, coming into the penalties, I just get the sense that whoever loses this is going to carry a huge burden. And I'd feel now for Killian Myers-Murray, he was first up to take that. And that's just a huge burden for him to carry. As I say, in the normal flow of a game, if you have a bad game, if you get beaten to a ball, if you have a miss, it's over in an instant. That was a long time for him to think about that, and a long time for him to think about walking away. So,
and to be fair, and to give due credit as well, the first man up to Killian Myers-Murray as soon as that ball hit the net was Damien Cahalan, just to show his commiserations. And that just shows, and I've just seen Jack Cahalan getting up to him as well. That's just it's a horrible way. I know it's the way we're having put into it, but it's a horrible way to be knocked out of a senior football championship.
It is, yeah. And to be fair, I just think two teams deserve so much credit. I know there was a little bit of a fight and scuffle down there, but the heart and the energy from both teams. It was a super game of football. Great skill, great tackling, great. Like when you talk about professional sports or whatever, it's just you sit here and you say, geez, these guys want it. Everything mattered. The breaking ball was always contested. It was just really enjoyable. Massive energy from the game. So hats off to the two teams, I would say, first and foremost.
Brian?
Yeah, I think, Patrick, ultimately the weight of a crossbar has knocked the Bars out of the championship in a sudden death penalty shootout, which actually tells its own story. I think both teams, as Derek said, gave this everything they had. We questioned at half time whether the Bars could actually come back out and go to war. They certainly did that. They've lost nothing here tonight. You see men carried off, struggle off the pitch, limp off the pitch, be lifted off the pitch.
Two Cork senior players, Ian Maguire and Brian Hurley, couldn't finish out the game. That just shows you what clubs mean to fellas and how much they want to actually win championship games and get to finals and try and win another county championship for their club. I think you couldn't ask any more of either team tonight. I think the Bars maxed out, Castlehaven maxed out. Castlehaven looked actually very, very, very good for about 12 or 14 minutes maybe, and after that they relied on pure economy. They got down into the Bars half very few times, but every time they got down there, something happened. Whereas the Bars had an awful lot of possession here in the second half, had an awful lot of possession in the extra time, but yet the composure necessary to close out these type of games, it just left them at times tonight. So much so, they ended up in a lottery, penalty shootout, sudden death. And in these things, as I say, amateur players, somebody's going to miss. Keepers are going to make saves. It happens. The very best players in the world hit crossbars, hit posts, put the ball wide. It's savage pressure, but I would say fair play to Killian Myers-Murray. When I went to the sudden death part of it, he was the first guy to leave his group. He ran up there. He showed tremendous self-belief. And, if he's feeling down tonight or tomorrow or next week, I'm sure looking at the Bars and knowing the club that they are, they'll rally around him and they'll lift him back up. Fair play to Castlehaven. There was times tonight that they looked as if they weren't going to win it. I think there's more in them over
a sustained period. And I think if they're going to beat Nemo, they're going to have to produce something a bit better than what they did at times tonight. Now, if they can elongate that period that they had in that first half when they were very, very effective, they'll be a match for anybody. But I think they're going to have to get a bit more out of Michael Hurley. I think he went off with an injury. They're going to have to get a bit more out of Mark Collins, Brian Hurley. And their defence are going to be up against possibly better forwards than Paul Kerrigan, Luke Conley, Mark Cronin, these type of players. They're going to be Barry O'Driscoll. They're marquee players, and I think Castlehaven are going to have to really go to toe to toe with these guys if they have a chance. But look, all we can say tonight, Patrick, is that we were entertained from start to finish. We saw the GA at its best. We saw people giving absolutely everything for their clubs. The Bars go away tonight as losers, but certainly they've lost nothing. If anything, anyone who was watching would have to have look on with pride in the way they gave of themselves tonight. And as I say, absolutely fair play to Castlehaven. Brilliant way to win a game and a great way to go into a final.
Sure is indeed. County final now next week. You'll be donning the green and black during the week.
Yeah, definitely. I just thought it was going to be the Bars. Most of that, by the end of the second half, the Bars just looked like they were going to take it. In extra time, the Bars definitely looked like they were going to take it. They, as Brian says, they worked off economy. They just took their chances better. Bars had just so many misses at the end of normal time, so many misses at the end of extra time. So they've known to blame but themselves. Castlehaven, loads to improve on. If you were to look at how they improved going into the semi-final, I think midfield is the starting point. They were beaten really badly there. I think the Bars just owned the possession from the kickouts, even from Castlehaven's own kickout. That's their biggest weakness, I think. Their forwards look extremely good. They look, especially in the first half, for those 15 or 20 minutes that Brian mentioned, where they looked really good, really dangerous. They looked electric. They need to obviously work on that and stretch that out. But it's going to be a great final, I think, Nemo Castlehaven.
Okay. Thanks a million, boys, for quite an entertaining evening. Brian Corpert and Derek Kavanagh concluding our coverage of this weekend's Irish Examiner live streaming. What has been an epic weekend. We brought you the game last night in the Premier Intermediate Hurling Championship final where Blarney defeated Castle Lions, and then 3 games this afternoon. Firstly, we were in Park Equi for the Senior Hurling Championship final, where Charleville just got up by the skin of our teeth against Fort O'Neill's by a solid 3 points. Then we came down here to see Nemo Rangers getting a score in the 64th minute to win by a point against Stu Hallow. And just now, a game that goes to penalties. The first ever football game under the auspices of the Cork County Board, going to the way of Castlehaven. And a county final to look forward to next weekend. And we've got plenty of county finals to look forward to as we bring you more coverage of the live streaming in association with the County Board in Cork on the Irish Examiner live streaming service. There's going to be a plethora of breakdowns, analysis tomorrow in the Examiner Sport. I'm looking forward to catching that tomorrow. Tony Lean is in the office working hard on that. I'm looking forward to picking up that tomorrow. My thanks to the 2 boys here beside me, and Kieran and John on technical duties this evening. Thank you for watching as well, and we'll talk to you all again very soon.